kind of just the incredible young talent that this team has that you get to play with must be a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, coming in, we knew we lost a lot of older talent, so we had to find those new guys that could play, and especially those three. And Cott is still a junior, and just all these guys fitting in have really stepped up, and which I think at the beginning of the season, nobody really thought that it was going to be too great with having that many young guys starting or playing that much. But they've learned quick, and the older guys have really stepped up to lead them and show them how it's done. So it's worked very well for us so far.
Yeah, it's such an impressive unit. Again, Aiden Dorn, Grandville senior outside linebacker, joining us here on Michigan Game Night. And Aiden, let's kind of look ahead a little bit. I know I've seen some kind of different posts and things going on in terms of you playing at the next level. So tell me a little bit about kind of some of the college choices and different things you have going on right now looking ahead to next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely my plan, is to hopefully play at the next level. I mean, Adrian College has offered me, so there's an option, and hopefully through this season we'll get a couple more, talking to a couple local schools like Wheaton and maybe Albion, where some former players are playing right now. So, yeah, that's what my goal is.
No, I can certainly say, I mean, what you're able to do on this Grandville defense, doing so many different roles, I certainly think that it would be something that any coach at the next level would want. And all right, I mean, we saved it to the end. Let's get to it. Caledonia. I mean, this might wind up being the game of the year by the time we get to the end of the season and take a look back at things. I guess first, generically, kind of tell me, you're early in the week with some of the prep and stuff. Tell me some of the things that you're most kind of looking at right here for Caledonia and getting amped up about for this incredible matchup.
I mean, they are a great team. They have weapons about everywhere. They have great defense. They play well together. And then, I mean, their two main guys, their quarterback Mason and Brock, the running back. So really trying to stop them and what they do best is going to be our biggest goal.
Yeah, absolutely. It is going to be a fascinating matchup for sure. I mean, tell me about, obviously, Rockford the next week. I mean, it just as a player has to really make it more exciting to get up each day as you get closer to a game like this.
Oh, yeah. The atmosphere just keeps getting, better and better by the days going forward and getting closer to it. And especially looking back on last year and how that was not a fun loss for us, and seeing how we can come back a bit bigger and better this year is, makes it a huge game for us.
Absolutely. It is going to be a fascinating and thrilling game for certain. Grandville, Caledonia. Aiden Dorn, Grandville outside linebacker, joining us today on Captain's Corner. And thank you again for your time, Aiden, and good luck out there on Friday night.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back here on MGN.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car, and the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531.
Hello, West Michigan sports fans. I am Mark Kimball. I'm president of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. This is our 50 things that have happened in the world of sports in our community. I need your help in helping me remember which of those athletes, teams, and events were the most important or the most fun for you to participate in. We're running a series of surveys that are asking for your input in identifying your favorite sporting event over the last 50 years. Some of my favorite events were the very first Whitecaps game, the very first Cougs game. What were your favorite events? And then I like to think about who are the best athletes that we've seen in the last 50 years, both from a female and a male perspective. And finally, tell me who your favorite team is and what they accomplished over the last 50 years. I look forward to hearing from you on your favorite sports memories.
Located just 20 minutes from Grand Rapids and Kent City, the Falls at Barber Creek is one of Michigan's premier golfing destinations. The beautifully designed 18-hole public golf course welcomes golfers of all ages and skill levels. Its challenging track with dramatic elevation changes through breathtaking scenery, including a 40-foot waterfall, makes it a place you're definitely going to want to play. Check out the course with a drone flyover and reserve your tee times at thefallsatbc.com.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
And welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer here on the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. CT Bulldogs are into the inflated Bulldog head and getting ready to run out on the field in just a moment. Grandville, Caledonia, battle of OK Red, top 10 in the state, unbeaten this evening. It certainly is going to be a great one. We have had kind of a truncated pregame festivities along with everything else we've had going on, so we got to get going. So I'm going to quickly read here through some of the talking points. First off, just telling you about Derek Pennington's team, Caledonia. They're tough, they're physical. Offensively, they run that read option scheme. If you saw the tailgate report this week, you know all about what they bring to the table. But two teams, especially Caledonia, they're going to run it down your throat all day long. Both teams are going to do the same thing in very different ways, if that makes sense.
No, it does. I mean, the formation's going to be completely different. Caledonia going to spread you out a little bit, but still run some power sets off from that. They've got a lot of talent in the backfield. Quarterback, running back, both can run the football. And they've got a really good offensive and defensive line. They brought some new guys in there, but they've been playing well as well. Of course, you've seen the Bulldogs offense rolling the last couple weeks, and that's always going to be running football as well.
Week 2 without Tyson Mann, so look to guys like Terry and everyone else for the Bulldogs to step up. McKenzie, Townsend going to be at the pinnacle of the offense and the defense. We talk about Townsend for Caledonia. We'll get some more of that when we come back. Thanks for tuning in to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency pregame show. National anthem on deck in the stadium, so we're going to quick step aside. We already got football. Game of the year maybe in West Michigan on the other side of this.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. Want to build something? Great. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Do it all here. But you've got to go forward fast. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. This is your future, so take it, and move all of us forward.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
What would you do with some extra time? Shop Fastlane today.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
And welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Tim with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Also, shout out to everyone tuned in through the Grandville Athletics YouTube page. Here we go, 4-0 versus 4-0. Caledonia, the number 4 team in the state. Grandville is number 8. Here tonight at Bulldog Stadium. Maybe the fate of the OK Red when it's all said and done. On the line, Caledonia, the traveling white uniforms, numbers in purple, helmets in purple, the white stripe down the center of the Bulldogs, the home maroon uniforms, pants white, helmets maroon with block white, Grandville G. Carson Kopko back deep to receive, and Caledonia has the ball on the tee with Luke Vogler. at the 40-yard line. Right to left across your radio dial. A low driving kick from Vogler gets us underway. It bounces down at the 2-yard line, angles into the end zone, and the Grandville offense will get to open up this contest. It was Caledonia, by the way, that won the toss. They deferred the option to receive to the second half, and that means, as usual, Coach Eric Stiegel's offense will open up the game here. But also make sure throughout this game you keep an eye out for our Lakeshore Sewing Threading the Needle pass or play of the game. Lakeshore Sewing features West Michigan's largest selection of all things related to sewing, from new machines and machine repair, and even classes to take your sewing game to the next level. Visit lakeshoresewing.com for more details. And that's lakeshoresewing.com, and make sure you mention to Brian Collins that you heard about Lakeshore Sewing through Michigan Sports Radio. Bulldogs, 2 tight end T from their own 20 start. Handoff Jaden Terry right side. The freshman breaks it out as he's able to get past the tackle over the 25 and get shoestring tackled out of bounds past the 25 to the 27-yard line. And Chandler, we start out with a talking point of Jaden Terry. He's able to get 8 yards on first down on the freshman. Of course, the injury of Tyson Mann remains front of mind, going to be so critical, along with Kopko and Sadinsky in that backfield for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think Terry going to be asked to carry the ball a lot for the Bulldogs here tonight. Right away on first down, running through an arm tackle from the linebacker King, able to get a couple extra yards and bounce it outside.
From the 28-yard line, right hash mark, Carson Smith, the senior quarterback under center, turn, give on to Sadinsky is faked. It's a give to Kopko up the gut. He'll dive ahead to the 29-yard line. They'll give him a yard. It'll be a 3rd and 1 here for the Bulldogs up to that 29. So 1 to go as we tick under 11:40 to go in this first quarter. Smith looks back to the sideline. For Caledonia, Coach Pennington, a defense giving up just 7 points per game so far on the year. They have 2 shutouts against both Holt and Jennison on this young season. Their senior inside linebacker, Theron Sanders, is out. He's injured this evening, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. That means a guy like Reed Vogler is going to have to come inside, but of course a little bit different defensive look anyway. They go 1 high safety, 3 down linemen. Make it 5 down linemen as they bring the 2 standing edge rushers both down for this 3rd and 1 play from the 29-yard line. Turn from Sanders, give to Terry, bounces outside at the 30, the 35-yard line. Starter step over the 40s, he dives ahead to the 42-yard line as he's corralled out of bounds by Jet King off the outside edge. So a first down for Jaden Terry, and the freshman making it look good early. I saw him down on the field before the game. He seemed ready to go. He was taking actually some punts as well, getting ready for the start of this game. But Jaden off to a very good start in this one as he gets up to the 42-yard line, CT.
Yeah, 3rd and 1 situation there. Obviously, good spot for the Bulldogs to be in. Terry again able to bounce it to the outside, gives a little shimmy, and gets around the defender.
From their own 42, Smith under center. 2 tight end T. Fake handoff and a handoff on to Terry. Cuts it over the right side of the line and gets shoestring tackled down after a gain of a yard. It's Reed Vogler coming in off the edge to make that tackle. A sophomore, normally a strong safety, playing in at linebacker again as they're utilizing just 1 high safety in the terrific junior Brock Townsend, who we're going to talk a lot about on the other side of the ball in particular. Had 5 touchdowns a week ago. Also had an interception for the heavily recruited, at this point, just MAC player, but I think you'll see a lot more for him coming up. 2nd and 10 for Grandville. The mark comes right back to the 42-yard line. Smith under center, 2 tight end T. Fake handoff, bootleg keeper left side, lowers the shoulder past the line of scrimmage, gets leveled out by Blake Herron, right back up the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go, and Grandville will face a 3rd and 10 here early as this steady, stout Caledonia defense is getting the edge on this set of downs at least.
Yeah, usually the play fake there, even on the bootleg, where he's not looking to pass the ball, usually so clean, but you can tell just a little bit more pressure from the Scots defensive line there. Some issues getting the ball out of the chest of the running back and trying to then turn the corner, and just enough to mess up the timing and get back to the line of scrimmage.
Early first quarter in a top 10 clash. 3rd and 10 for Grandville from their own 42-yard line. Smith, fake handoff, bootleg right to pass. Has some pressure coming, directing traffic. He'll tuck it down, run over the 45, and walk out of bounds to the 48-yard line. So he gets about 5 or 6. It'll be a 3rd and medium here for the Bulldogs coming up as he goes to the sideline to talk to Coach Stiegel for this upcoming play call. Looks like the offense will stay out there. So an interesting early moment in this game. Carson Smith back in from the sideline. The Bulldogs will go for it right here on 4th down and 4 from their own 48. They break it out quickly. 9.5 to go. Clock stopped in the first quarter. Smith under center. Terry, Kopko, Sadinsky, the backs. Defense crowds in. Handoff right side. Jaden Terry bouncing, pushing ahead. Got the 49. He's short. Turnover on downs. Caledonia fired up as they roll the way off the field. Derek Pennington and company all around the tackler. And now Grandville's defense going to have to make a big play. That is a fired up unit. Coach Pennington the first to meet his guys. And a big moment as Caledonia now will get the ball right at the 50-yard line. Do you have a daughter interested in volleyball? Michigan Volleyball Academy runs year-round camps and clinics as well as local and travel teams in Holland and Grand Rapids. They're running a free camp for anyone interested in checking out what they have to offer. Join them October 2 in Grand Rapids or October 12 in Holland. For more information and to register, visit MichiganVolleyballAcademy.com. Caledonia goes to work, fake handoff. Mason McKenzie breaking in the open field over 40 to the 35-30, right sideline 25-20, walks out of bounds with a shoestring tackle at the 18-yard line. The read option play working well. Early McKenzie into the open field. Caledonia to stop. Now a big march down the field, and quickly the momentum is in the Scots direction and then some to open this thing up.
Yeah, that right there is the danger with the Scots offense. When you've got a quarterback and running back like that can both be a threat with their legs, and then able to get them on the read option, it's going to be tough for the defense to stay honest.
They're working quick. 3 receiver set. Pennington is the H-back. Handoff up the gut to Townsend. Cuts it outside. Angling along the 20-yard line. Cuts it up to the 15, 10, 5. Diving into the end zone. Touchdown, Caledonia. But a pair of penalty markers are out behind the play. And I think those exactly came where he was able to cut it up as Caledonia is marching backwards. So would have been a touchdown, and this is looking very dangerous early for Grandville because Caledonia, those are 2 easy plays up the field. Of course, the hold helped right here, but the Bulldogs defense and KJ Land is going to have to settle things down quickly.
Yeah, those are some bread and butter plays for the Scots offense. Nothing too tricky about it. That time Townsend on the outside. Hungerford was trying to cut up and make Townsend turn the ball inside, and that's where the hold came in. So nice play by Hungerford to at least draw the hold.
All right, so now Caledonia will back it up to the Grandville 28-yard line. That makes it a 1st and 18 for the Scots left hash mark. No score with 9:01 to go. Mason McKenzie, a terrific senior quarterback, kind of a dark horse in the Mr. Football race in a lot of circles. 9 touchdowns through the air, 6 on the ground on the year, and his terrific junior running mate in the backfield. Brock Townsend go to work. 3 receivers set with a single man isolated left. That's DeHorn. Fake handoff, read option keeper right side McKenzie, spinning over the 25 down to the 21-yard line. Avon caught the junior safety on the tackle for the Bulldogs. But right now, the read option game, it's going to be the bread and butter of what this team's going to do. Honestly, upwards of 70% of their offense may come out of that look and using various zone read type of options. It's now going to be 2nd and 11. Remember, they're backed up. So Grandville still, so to speak, ahead of the chains as a defense, but a good gainer for 7 yards on first down. They'll break it out here again. Shotgun formation, tailback, Townsend left hip. Off the right side of the line is Pennington, the wingback, in a 3-receiver set. This will be their base set all night long. Handoff, Townsend up the gut, tackled by Dorn at the 15-yard line, short of the first down. He's able to fall forward to the 13, so it'll be 3rd and very short right here for Caledonia. Townsend a little slow to get, but he regathers himself. I think he may have lost a shoe in that tackling scrum. So 3rd and 3 for Caledonia up to the Grandville 13-yard line. 8 minutes and less to go first quarter. This penalty could be a real godsend for the Bulldogs if they are able to get a stop right now, as they've got to find something on 3rd down. But right now, Caledonia chunking it 8+ yards down the field every time.
Yeah, I'll take what you can get in the penalty, setting them back. Now at least 3rd and short, yet, but still a chance to make a play here and either force a 4th down or a field goal.
McKenzie again from the gun. DeHorn, Reed, and Graham, the starting wide receivers. Bulldogs bring 4 down linemen. Snap to the senior. Handoff. Townsend fake, read option, keeper right, first down, over the 10, burst of speed, cutting through 2 defenders, angling into the end zone, touchdown Caledonia. Mason McKenzie with his 7th rushing touchdown of the young season, and Caledonia strikes quickly and strikes first. 7:29 to go in the first, 6-0 Scots, making a real statement early on as they bring Vogler on to try to attempt the point after.
Yeah, ran the variation of the read option 3 times on that play. McKenzie able to run the ball for 50 yards. That time you see multiple Bulldogs bite for the fake. Going with Townsend in the running back leaves a wide open lane for McKenzie to find the end zone.
All right, Luke Vogler. Right leg through the ball, nearly blocked, but that one is easily right down the hatch and good. 7-0 Caledonia. Big start for Coach Pennington. Scots with 7.5 to go in the first quarter. They get a stop and they get an easy score. We'll see if the Bulldogs have a chance to answer right here. It is the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame's 50th anniversary this year, and remember, they need your help this year, so make sure you go online to grshof.com to participate. They before asked what the most memorable moment or event you've watched in West Michigan over the past 50 years was. Their current question they're asking, if you go online, is who is the top West Michigan male athlete you have watched perform for a West Michigan team or individually in the past 50 years. Also, make sure to check out the Family Fair Tailgate Special of the week. Again, this week, it is buy one, get one free, Open Acres Country Style Rib with yes cards at Family Fair. All right, Vogler right to left. Ball on the tee at the 40-yard line. Very, very fast start for the Fighting Scots. 7.5 to go first quarter. They lead at 7-0. Carson Kopko backs down at his 5-yard line to receive this one as the Bulldogs offense really needs an answer right here. Vogler, right leg through the ball, sends it right up the right hash mark, down to the 2-yard line, taken by Kopko. He'll run it up the hashes at the 15, cuts by one tackler ahead to the 16, and gets shoestring brought down ahead to maybe the 17-yard line. Good tackle in the open field by Rivers Sonlin, the sophomore on the coverage, and the Bulldogs have to start inside their own 20-yard line. Everything coming up Scots early on.
Yeah, really the first time we've seen the Bulldogs offense in a situation like this where they're now playing from behind, needing a big drive just to kind of get some momentum back on their side. It's been a lot of the Bulldogs offense rolling, playing with some freedom, and allowing the defense to have some breathing room. Now we're going to have to see the offense carry the load here and get themselves back in the game early.
So Grandville from their own 18-yard line. Right hash mark down 7-0. Smith under center. Give up the gut on the Sadinsky, angles over left guard and drags ahead of the 20-yard line for a gain of 2 into the tackling pile. The front line so big, so tough. Jackson Engelberg, Carlo Ibar, and then Tyler Burt, Jet King, terrific outside linebackers and defensive ends. Derek Pennington in there as well. They're big, they're tough, they're mean. Bird especially jumps off the page at 6'5", 200 pounds. Under center. 6:55 and less to go. 2nd and 8 up to the 20-yard line. Left hash mark. Fake handoff. Smith throws in the right flat, looking for Sadinsky at the 25-yard line. It's just out of his reach. His left outstretched left mitt can't quite hang on to it. And now quickly, 3rd and 8 back at the 20-yard line. And the Bulldogs again in a tough position, needing to convert. But this time, even for them, probably not in 4-down territory.
Yeah, going to need to get something here, at least make this a 4th and very short to even think about it. But that time trying to dump it off to Kopko in the flat, just overthrown off the fingertips of Kopko. If you get a couple yards there, you're feeling a lot better about maybe still running the football in this situation. Now 3rd and long. We'll see if they have to go into the air here.
3rd and 8. The Bulldogs go to the short shotgun single wing formation here. Snap to Smith. Rolls right to pass. Penalty marker down. He's forced to quickly throw it away, and he throws it over the head of Sadinsky at the 25-yard line. As I said, there is a penalty marker down, though, and it looks like it's a false start on Grandville. That actually is a saving grace for them, as they're going to get a chance to run it again, although 3rd and 8 is going to turn into 3rd and very long right here. So false start as the Bulldogs go to the single wing short shotgun formation. The direct snap there to Carson Smith. Caledonia looking back to the sideline, get their defensive call in right here. It looks like actually Caledonia can be able to decline that penalty, so it will remain 4th and 8. And now the Bulldogs will be forced to punt it away. So Avon Cott stands at his own 5-yard line. He'll get ready to send this away to Townsend, who stands in plus territory. This is a bad line drive punt as it was taken by Cott, just kind of reached it around the charging defender, Tyler Bird, able to get just a piece of it. It rolls over the 50-yard line, past the 45, and is touched up at the Caledonia 42-yard line. So again, midfield starting position here for Caledonia, and the Fighting Scots with a real chance to make a statement again right here early. 6.5 to go in the first quarter. West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports in Jenison is your source for quality family and sports-related chiropractic care. Visit West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports at www.wmchiropractic.com for more info. So, from their own 43 will be the mark. On the left hash mark, Caledonia goes to work. 3 receiver set. Pennington is the wing back, and of course, McKenzie works out of the gun. Direct snap, will roll right on the run. Drives over the 45 to the 50. On his feet, chopping ahead to the Grandville 46-yard line where Sadinsky and Kopp bring him down. He's got the first down by a yard, and that'll move the chains again for Caledonia. It is looking easy for the Scots early.
Yeah, very wide alley for McKenzie to run through. Not as much on the read option that time, just a straight quarterback run, but still getting a wide open lane on that right side between the right guard and right tackle, or he's able to cut it upfield, and he's into the second level pretty easily.
From the Grandville 46-yard line, McKenzie, the quarterback, wearing 10 in white. Offset to his right hip is Townsend. 3 receivers. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Townsend up the gut. Whole bunch of room. Chopping up over the 40. He'll get cut down from behind at the 39-yard line, as it was Graberson, the sophomore, wrestling him down. But again, yardage every single time as they get down to the 39-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and it's 2nd and 3 here with 5:35 and less to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Caledonia. It's been all Scots so far. The Bulldogs have not been able to move the ball, and Caledonia has been easily moving the football.
So used to seeing this Bulldogs defensive line be able to get some movement Even if they're giving up some rushing yards, just being close to having some tackles in the backfield. Right now, they're getting pushed around a little bit by the Scots offensive line.
Same base formation here, 3 receivers. They'll work with a wing back from the gun. Snap to McKenzie, fake handoff, read option keeper, chopping up, and he gets brought down right at the 40-yard line. Aiden Doran busting in to knock him down. The mark will stay at the 39, so it'll be 3rd down and short. Finally, Grandville able to make a stop right around the line of scrimmage right there on the read option, but still McKenzie shows so shifty, so dangerous, and nearly had a chance to bust it.
Yeah, that's a play now you got to build off from. Able to get a stop there, give yourselves a chance on 3rd down. There's multiple Bulldogs there. Doran able to get the shoestrings of McKenzie and bring him down. Now you got to capitalize off that.
3rd and 3 from the 39-yard line. They have to get to the 36 here. 4:37 and less to go first quarter. 7-0 Caledonia. They'll spread them 3 wide from the gun. Mason McKenzie, 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. Snap to McKenzie. Straight drop to pass. Dumps it off over the flat. Caught by Reed at the 40. No, he can't hang on to it. Some late pressure coming from Kubzak to knock it away. It's 4th down. First time they dump it off to their explosive senior slot receiver, Reed, who has 4 touchdowns on the season. It's now 4th and 2 from the 39. Caledonia will keep the offense out there, and now we got really a big moment for the first quarter in this one.
Yeah, and great recognition by Nesbitt on the inside of that defense. Started to rush the passer, realized that it was way too easy. Well, that entire defensive line rushing the quarterback is what's drawn up on a screen like that. He immediately turns around, tries to find where the ball's going, able to knock the ball free, force the incompletion.
All right, 4th down and 3 here for Caledonia. Ball right in between the hash marks at the Grandville 39-yard line. 7-0 Scots with 4.5 to go first quarter. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Townsend. Right side. He stopped short of the first down initially, then got the push ahead, diving down through the air. Dorn on the tackle. I think he got it by a yard. He did. He got just enough. He needed the 36-yard line. He got the 36-yard line on a pretty friendly mark as well as he dove forward, but Caledonia gets the 3 they needed and move the chains.
Townsend just enough of a burst where a couple Bulldogs again in the backfield trying to make a play, but he's able to make one cut and fall forward enough to get to the first down marker.
Empty backfield as Townsend goes out wide to the right slot. First down snap, rolling straight left. Here's McKenzie. He'll fire it deep left side, looking for the 5-yard line. Caught out of bounds by Evan Graham, the senior. It'll be 2nd down and 10. The coverage was Cash Ruff there for the Bulldogs down the sideline, but they got Graham, the split end, going down the field right there inside the 5, just a little overthrown, but we see the McKenzie arm as he pretty effortlessly lifted that one down the field.
Yeah, that's what makes him so dangerous is that he's not asked to throw the football a lot, but they're rolling out to his left, just flicks it down the field. Nice, tight spiral ball all the way down the sideline. Put it just out of bounds, but not a bad throw there as the defense in position, but that's what makes this team very difficult is you have to respect the passing game in the arm of McKenzie as well.
3:51 in the first, 7-0 Caledonia. They have a 2nd and 10 from the Grandville 36-yard line. Traveling white uniform, snap to McKenzie, straight drop to pass, has some time, now the pressure coming, fires off his back foot, deep right sideline, incomplete, out of bounds, overthrown of DeHorn, but a late penalty marker comes out as well. Penalty marker thrown around the 30-yard line. I'm actually curious to see what this one might be.
Might be an ineligible man downfield again, a call we saw a bunch last week.
We'll have to wait and see on that call, but that is going to be the call. So it is an eligible man downfield for Caledonia. So the Scots breaking out the pass game a little bit on the last couple of plays right here, taking some shots down the field. And that penalty is declined, so it'll remain 3rd and 10 from the 36 here. So big opportunity again for the Bulldogs for a stop. This defense coach Landis, I think, has settled things down a little bit right now after that big start as the Scots have been forced to go to the air a little bit more. And again, they break out the 4 wide receiver set as Townsend goes out wide to the right slot. So 2 receivers to either direction. Pennington, the wingback, off the left side of the line. Snap to McKenzie. Straight drop to pass on 3rd and 10. Has some time. Fires deep right side. Looking for the end zone. Caught. Touchdown, Townsend. Caledonia up 2 scores. He lobs it up to Townsend, a 36-yard straight to the junior. And Caledonia is really in business now early.
I was about to say before the play, just because Townsend's not in the backfield doesn't mean he's not getting the ball right here. And they like to get him involved in multiple ways. They'll line him up in the slot, sometimes even outside, bring him in motion. That time just able to get him on a matchup on the linebacker on the outside and then get him on the route down the sideline. A perfectly thrown ball where he can go up and get it. And a nice pitch and catch there for a 36-yard touchdown.
Townsend 5 TDs a week ago total. Coach double digits on the year now for touchdowns. Again, Vogler looking to add the extra point for Caledonia. Snap down, right leg through the ball, high twisting kick is right down the hatching good. 14-0 Caledonia. Coach Stiegel's Bulldogs got to reset a little bit with 3:36 to go in the first. Their offense will be right back on the field after this.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Carson Kapko brings the return out over the 30-yard line for the Bulldogs, and Grandville gets decent field position. They trail 14-0. And Chandler, I don't want to overstate the beginning of this one. Nate Jyer, Chandler Timberway here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio, but don't want to overstate it already. It's still 3.5 to go first quarter, but the way this thing's gone so far, 14-0 Caledonia. They've shown the ability to score through the air and on the ground. This feels like a really important drive already for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, need to get something going here. Haven't made it across midfield yet. Got right to the 50 on the first drive and then stalled out pretty quickly on the last one. So I'd love to get some points and at least control the football here for a little bit.
Smith under center from his own 33-yard line. Handoff, Jaden Terry cuts it up over the 35. On his feet to the 40. Twisting ahead, 45-yard line as he pushes the tackling pile with him on down to move the change for the first down. Good run from the freshman as he dragged ahead. I think Carl Ibar was on the tackle there in the middle of the Caledonia defense. So good start for Jaden Terry at minimum. He's been able to move the ball for the Bulldogs, and that's what they need right now is a sustained, tough drive. Take some time off the clock, settle the game down, give their defense a rest, and put some points on the board. So Grandville from their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10. They trail 14-0. Smith, fake handoff, rolls right to pass, fires right side, caught by Sadinsky, dragging the feet out of bounds at the Caledonia 43-yard line. That'll move the chains again. Big grab from the sophomore out wide on the right side, and the Bulldogs move the chains 2 for 2 on this drive.
Yeah, we've seen the play-action pass really fool some teams, and there'll be some wide-open throws for Smith to some of his receivers. That one, the Fighting Scots defense played it pretty well. Just a nice throw and great catch from Sadinsky.
Grandville working pretty quickly. A couple high safeties for Caledonia. Snap and a give to Sadinsky. Drives over the 40 and drags the pile down to the 37, 36-yard line. Got a bit of a push from behind his Kopko as well. Heron and company on the tackle for Caledonia. We tick under 2:23 to go in the first quarter. 2nd and 4 for Grandville as the mark is the 37-yard line. So finally the Bulldogs get it into plus territory, and they're chunking it down the field a little bit as well, but early down 14-0. I will remind you, Caledonia trailed 14-0 last week against Hudsonville. They obviously came back to win, so maybe the Bulldogs can try to pull off a reverse of what happened to their border war rivals Hudsonville when they took on the Scots last time out. 2nd and 4 for Grandville, under 2 minutes to go first quarter. 2 tight end T, Smith under center. 5 on the front line for Caledonia. Give on to Kopko. Twist away from 1 man at the 30. Angles left 20, 15, 10, 5. Being chased down by Townsend. Dives to the end zone. Touchdown Grandville. The Bulldogs on the board. The trap play. A big cut and a score. Carson Kopko gets the Dogs on the board with a 37-yard strike on the ground.
Well, they tried to run the fullback trap early on. Only gained a yard on it, and after chunking it, getting a couple plays, a play-action pass, a nice run from Jaden Terry to start the drive. They go back to it. Kopko able to break one tackle in the middle of the field and then just outrun the Scots to the corner of the end zone.
That's got to be probably the biggest first quarter touchdown the Bulldogs may score all year long. They will go for 2 here, down 14-6. 1:40 to go first quarter. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. Smith. Here's the snap. Fake handoff, rolls back to pass, races back to the left side across his body. Smith tucks it down, has the wheels into the end zone. 2-point conversion good. Spinning into the end zone is the senior quarterback, and the Bulldogs get the 2. 14-8 with 1:40 to go in the first quarter, and the Bulldogs find themselves on the board. Did you know that roller skating is in full swing? Terry Hall Roller Rink in Grandville is open Thursday through Sunday with a variety of hours to meet your family's needs. Visit terryhall.com for details. All skate everyone skate. And have you tried the hottest new restaurant in the area? The Derby Tavern in Jamestown is on everyone's list for fine food and beverage, where friends gather and every hour is happy hour. Visit thederbytavern.com for details. Minute 40 on the clock, 14-8. As I just said, Chandler, that's probably going to be the biggest 8 points the Bulldogs score in the first quarter, maybe all year long.
Yeah, do they need that? I mean, it's amazing how much just a drive like that. You've seen your offense rolling all season long, and when they get bottled up for almost a quarter, you start to get a little nervous and putting a lot of pressure on your defense. That's giving up some big plays already, but one drive down the field pretty quickly, able to get some chunk plays like they're used to, and then punching it in the end zone. This feels like a completely different game now.
Absolutely. All right, left to right. Bulldogs will get ready to send this one away with Isaac Strock in just a moment. Pair of deep men back for Caledonia. Standing to the left is Justice Reed. Standing to the right side is DJ Walker, the junior, who is their backup tailback as well. And Strock will get ready to send this one away. Right hand in the air. Packed house at Bulldog Stadium. Lights on. It finally feels like football tonight as well. The weather outside. Strock marches forward. Right leg through the ball. Low twisting kick taken outside the right numbers, at the 8-yard line by Walker. He'll sprint it up to the 30-yard line into a pile. Scored out the other side to the 33. Good return. And Mason McKenzie and company will go to work. A dangerous start for Caledonia so far in this one. McKenzie, one through the air, one on the ground. We've seen why. I call him a dark horse Mr. Football candidate. I mean, maybe not even a dark horse the way he's been playing this week and all season long. Now 10 passing touchdowns and 7 rushing TDs on the year. So Caledonia from their own 33-yard line, in between the hash marks. They started out 1st and 10, up 14-8. McKenzie from the shotgun, 3-receiver set. Isolated to the right side is DeHorn. Left wing back here is Pennington in motion as they split out the tailback. Townsend, fake handoff. McKenzie takes it over the 35-yard line on the keeper and bounces out of bounds at around the 36, 37-yard line for a gain of 3 or 4 on first down. It'll be a gain of 4 and a 2nd and 6 up to the 37-yard line. 1:28 to go. Clock stops. First quarter. Caledonia. Bulldogs working with that 4-down lineman front that they've been showing most of this game long. Jackson Zook also been showing a little bit of extra pressure off the edge as well. Back to the gun. McKenzie, number 10 in white, goes to work. Offset to his right hip is Brock Townsend, the junior. Snap to McKenzie. Give on the end around to Pennington. He'll take it over the 40, lower the head over the 45, and dive to the 49-yard line. A unique look right there you don't see too often as they motion the wingback, almost kind of like a double wing type offense, and give it to him on the end around. And Pennington, who is also a D1 MAC level recruit, able to move the chains up to the 49-yard line.
Yeah, just one more look that they can throw at you. You're expecting the read option coming at you a couple different ways, and then all of a sudden they reverse it, give the handoff to Pennington, who's known as a tremendous blocker for this team, getting him involved and getting him a carry, giving him some love.
1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. 14-8 Caledonia. McKenzie from the shotgun. 3-receiver set. Bulldogs a 4-down lineman. Straight drop to pass. McKenzie with time. Lines up. Fires. Deep over the middle. All alone. Caught. 15, 10-5. Touchdown. Evan Graham, the senior, hauls it in all alone. He got free over top of the Bulldog defense in Hungerford. Caledonia strikes again. It's 20-8. Their pass game has been the most dangerous part of this attack so far.
Yeah, they've been able to hit a couple throws over the top. Some miscommunication in the back end of the secondary. No safety there to help, and the post route wide open. Able to just run underneath the ball and waltz into the end zone.
Caledonia showing why they are the number 4 team in the state, and if they're able to keep this up, they're going to find a way to climb those rankings pretty darn quickly as well. So Vogler gets ready to add the extra point here with 44 seconds to go. High snap, settled down. Luke Vogler, right leg through the ball. That one angles through the left side of the upright, and good. 20-8. Caledonia over Grandville with 44 seconds to go in the first. A little surprising maybe early with the way that this one has gone so far. Heavy advantage to the Fighting Scots. Westonbrook Mower has served the Holland and Greater Grand Rapids area for over 60 years with locations in Jenison and Holland. They carry lawnmowers, string trimmers, leaf blowers, snow blowers, log splitters, generators, chainsaws, tillers, power washers, and much more. Plus, they have a full service department to get you ready for next season. Check them out online at westonbrookmower.com. autobodyeXperts.com. Also, Auto Body Experts with locations in Hudsonville, Holland, Wayland, and Zeeland are sure that they can help with your repair needs. They offer lifetime written warranties with every repair, so come and find them and they will take the stress away because they are the experts. Check them out online at autobodyeXperts.com. So right to left, Vogler gets ready to send it away one more time here for Caledonia. 44 seconds on the first quarter clock, and quickly in this one it is 21-8 after the extra point. Caledonia leading Grandville. The Bulldogs will go dual returners right here, a little bit against what we normally see out of them, as Sadinsky is sent to the left side, Kopko to the right to bring this one on back. Vogler, right leg through the ball, twisting kick, angles to the right side of the field. That's the side Kopko's on. He'll back into the end zone, 2 steps deep, haul it in. That's a touchback. And the Grandville offense will go to work. 21-8, 44 seconds to go, so the momentum quickly turned around. And again, we're right back, Chandler, in pretty much the exact same position we were just in a moment ago, where Grandville again is looking for a score early to keep pace, because I don't know how they're going to be getting a stop at this point in time. Plus, Caledonia gets the ball to start the second half, so they need all the points they can early.
Yeah, for as great as you feel about that last drive, you need a repeat of it right here. I think the Bulldogs, for the most part, have wanted to avoid a track meet for the most part of the season, and they've done so. You heard Coach Stiegel talk about it before the year, but that's what they find themselves in now.
Smith turning a give on to Sadinsky. He'll chop over left guard and dive down to the 23 or 24-yard line. Mark is going to be the 24 for a gain of 4 right here. 2nd and 6 for Grandville. Clock ticks under 30 seconds to go first quarter. 21-8. And the Bulldogs, again, will take their time to break this one out. Fedua on the tackle for Caledonia there. Ian Fedua, the junior. Jaden Millett also rotating on that big front line this team brings. Talk about Bird and Company earlier as well. Smith under center. 2 tight end T on a 2nd and 6. Turn and a give on to Sadinsky. He'll chop it up over the 25 into the power to the 26-yard line, where King, Heron, and many more level him out. Forward progress will give him the 26-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 4, and the clock hits triple zeros to end the first quarter of play. Caledonia all over the Bulldogs early on in this one. 21-8. We'll be right back here from Grandville.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
A sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards, because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on MichiganSportsRadio.com/MGN, or however else you may be listening, through our Twitter, through our Facebook, through the Grandville Athletics YouTube page. Grandville has a 3rd and 4 from their own 26-yard line to start the second quarter of play. Handoff here on to Jaden Terry, busting into the open field over 35. Made a man misses the 40. Race up the middle, past the 50 to the 45, 40-yard line, and gets shoestring tackled from behind by the cornerback, Jimmy Floyd. A big chain mover from the freshman, and the Bulldogs push it ahead. We talked about it on the tailgate report this week, CT, how important Jaden Terry was going to have to be. The freshman has been an X-factor so far, to say the least.
Yeah, he's had a couple big runs on the previous touchdown drive, got the first carry, able to pretty much do it on his own, spin out of a tackle. That time, again, just breaking through some arm tackles and showing the speed between the hashes.
Grandville up to the Caledonia 39-yard line. 2 tight end T with 30 seconds off the second quarter clock. Turn a fake delayed give. Bootleg keeper left, and Smith is wrapped up in the backfield. Reed Vogler busting through to knock him back around the 44-yard line. A loss of 4 or 5 for Grandville. Smith a little slow to get up as well as he got twisted down right there. And the Bulldogs will have a 2nd and 15 from the 44-yard line coming up. The one thing this offense, of course, cannot afford to do is to get behind the chains too often.
Yeah, going to make things a whole lot more difficult on 2nd and 3rd down. Tried to run the quarterback keeper on the outside a couple different times now, and for the most part, the Caledonia defense has been able to close the distance, not falling for the fake up the middle, and been able to chase down Smith.
Caledonia leads 21-8 over Grandville. The Bulldogs have a 2nd and 15 from the Caledonia 44-yard line right here. 5 down linemen to counter the T. Handoff on to Sadinsky, chopping over 35 and dives ahead to the 32-yard line. King makes the tackle along with Maddox Greenfield, the junior, but a great job by Sadinsky to get almost all of that back, and it will now be a 3rd and short for Grandville after being backed up as they get 12 yards with Sadinsky right there. It'll be 3rd and 3 up to the 32-yard line. Left hash mark.
A huge run. Sadinsky able to get this much more manageable down in distance. Now the Bulldogs offense can run whatever they like here.
Smith under center. Handoff, Jaden Terry stretching right side, wrapped up in the backfield by Heron and Moore. Heron made the first contact. 4 more Scots ran in. It's 4th down. A big stop by the junior Blake Heron coming off the edge. This Caledonia front line, they're going 5 on the front line, 4 linebackers, then 2 up top as the high safeties. It's been very effective so far stopping this T attack. Of course, the one Capco break up the field, and Grandville going to have to go for it, and will go for it right here. 4th and 3 from the 32-yard line. 9:31 and less to go, second quarter. 21-8 Caledonia. Carson Smith under center. 2 tight end T. Terry, Kopko, Sadinsky in the backfield. 5 down linemen. Smith taking his time, and Coach Stego is forced to call a timeout. And with that, we'll quick step aside. 9:18 in the first, and a big 4th down coming up for the Bulldogs right after this.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
For over 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com.
4th and 3, the Bulldogs getting set to go for it. Here's the officials run into place. 9:18 to go, second quarter. 21-8 Caledonia. Grandville up to the Scott 32-yard line. Carson Smith under center. Snap to Smith. Give to Sadinsky. Chops left side. Got the first down, it looks like, to the 29-yard line. Tackled from behind by Bird. He does have it on the number. That'll be just enough to move the chains. Sadinsky chops his way into the open field and moves the chains for the Bulldogs.
It looked like Sadinsky was going to get the first down pretty easily as he was running out to the left side, but Bird able to chase that one down from the backside of the play. Almost brought down Sadinsky short of the first down.
All right, left hash mark, 29-yard line. The drive stays alive with 8:50 and less to go. Second quarter, 21-8 Caledonia. Defense changing around a little bit. Smith looks to roll the pass, evades a tackler, throws it right side, intercepted by Heron in the open field, runs over the 45, tackled from behind at the 39-yard line, Caledonia ball. Probably the first major mistake we've seen on a rush pass all year long from Carson Smith. He got stopped up in the backfield, twisted away from one tackler, and then threw it to the pretty much wide open linebacker on a rush throw. Heron the pick, Caledonia the ball leading 21-8, and now the Grandville defense may have to save the game with a stop right here already.
Yeah, I mean, thrown right to the defender, but a bit understandable as he had pressure in his face. You could see the Scots defense shifted up their front, brought an extra man in at the last second, and the offense just wasn't able to adjust to it. He had a man in his face, avoided that somehow, and then rushed the throw.
All right, from the mark will be the 40-yard line. McKenzie to work. Give on to Townsend. Cuts it up over the 40 and angles outside the numbers where he's twisted out of bounds by Graverson at the 42-yard line. Gain of a couple yards on first down. 8:25 and less to go, second quarter. And from their own 42-yard line, it will be 2nd and 8 here for the Fighting Scots. Actually, it's actually going to be marked at the 41-yard line on the second mark, and only a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9. 8:12 and less to go, 21-8. So a big mistake from the Grandville offense, and now the defense has to come up with their first stop of the game right here. Caledonia spreads them 4 wide, empty backfield with a wing back off the right side of the line. Two receivers to either side. Now they put the slot man Townsend in motion. Snap, thrown right flat, caught by Reed, 38-yard line. Cuts it up just over the 40, but a nice shoestring tackle made by Hungerford, and Graverson will stop him up at the 44-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, tremendous open field tackle, just able to slap at the ankles of Reed and trip him up enough. Otherwise, that one was going a ways. He had some blocks from his receivers out in front of him.
McKenzie runs in from the sideline. Number 10 in the traveling white uniforms for McKenzie. Towel off the back of the uniform. Shooting sleeve on the right arm. Offset left hip is Brock Townsend, his junior running back. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs on a 3rd and 6 play. Snap to McKenzie. Runs straight left. Has a hole. Cuts up over the 45 to the 50. Has a first down. Angles back up the middle of the field to the 40. And driving down to the Grandville 37-yard line where he's leveled by the Bulldogs secondary. See Sadinsky standing over top of him. Nesbitt chased him down from behind. But McKenzie moving the chains right there again, coming up with a big play.
Yeah, the Bulldogs had the right idea. They brought Hungerford on the cornerback blitz to that side, but McKenzie just able to dodge it, jumps inside, and able to cut it up through the hash marks and then back more towards the middle of the field. But the Bulldogs trying to make something happen in the run game. McKenzie just able to win in space.
6:50 and less to go, second quarter. 21-8 Caledonia from the Bulldog 37-yard line. Bulldogs showing some pressure. Snap, give Townsend up the gut, cutting it up, evades the first level of tacklers and dives over the 35 to the 36-yard line. Jackson tackled him from behind. Jackson Zook was in there on the tackling brigade as well. The mark will be the 35-yard line and a gain of 2. So another 2nd and 8 here for Caledonia. Derek Pennington's offense has been effective so far. Deep strikes, but this time it's a little bit more of that run game, chunking it down the field once more as they're looking to take some time off the clock. 6:10 and less to go, second quarter. They lead at 21-8. They'll go back to the 4-receiver set. Pennington is the wingback off the right side of the line. Snap to McKenzie. Straight drop to pass. He's got some time. He fires deep, looking for Reed. Caught! Touchdown, Caledonia! Another deep strike. That's 3 through the air. This time the senior Reed gets involved, and Caledonia is pulling away 27-8 with 5:54 in the second. They are making a statement in Grandville tonight.
Yeah, the air attack just been dynamic. I mean, that ball, when it was thrown, it didn't look like Reed was that open, but the burst down the field to just get past the defender and then end up open in the end zone. I mean, and another beautifully thrown ball, just constantly been right on the money.
So Vogler looked to add the extra point. That's 12 through the air for McKenzie now on the year. He's spun out the love. McKenzie will hold. Vogler will kick. Right leg through the ball, and he's got another extra point. 5:54 to go, second quarter. Caledonia leads by 20. 28-8. We'll be right back here from Grandville. Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here. Game night on Michigan Sports Radio. All Caledonia early. 5:54 to go in the first half. It's 28-8 Fighting Scots. As they've kind of surprised everyone a little bit. I think most had them picked to win this game, but I don't think anyone saw this sort of dominant performance coming early. Vogler left to right sends this one away. Twisting kick is taken at the 2-yard line at the right hashes by Kopko. He'll run it up over the 25, has a hole over the 28 and dives ahead to the 29-yard line where he's leveled and brought down. So Bulldog offense comes back onto the field for Coach Stiegel. 5:48 to go, second quarter. And again, we said the last couple drives they threw a pick on the last drive, but it remains true right here. They need a score just to get something going. Remember, also, Caledonia gets the ball to start the second half right now. So in the way this thing's going, Grandville cannot come up with a stop. And now their offense has gotten stopped a couple times as well, and it's making life more difficult.
Yeah, need to put together a full drive right here. They moved the football down the field last time, and of course that's a great sign after the first couple drives stalled out pretty quickly. So you'll take the big plays that you had, but ultimately if you're going to be able to stall out right before the end zone, or the red zone rather, they're not going to be able to win a game that way.
All right, from their own 30-yard line, 5-down lineman for Caledonia against the T. Give to Jaden Terry. Bursts over the right guard spot. Cuts by a man at the 40. Races in the open field 50. 40-yard line. Left sideline 30. 25. 20. Left sideline 15. 10. 5. Touchdown Grandville. No penalty markers. Touchdown Jaden Terry. Goes to the house. 70 yards. What a statement by the freshman.
How impressive has Jaden Terry been tonight? We talked about how big of an impact he was going to have on the game, and even though the Bulldogs are down here, he has been tremendous in this first half. He's had 3 or 4 runs now, that one obviously being the biggest, but where he's just pretty much done it on his own. I mean, there's been guys there to tackle him. He's making guys miss, and then just the flat-out ability to outrun guys.
I feel like we've called a Terry doing something like that before. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I've done that exact call before. It's 28-14, 5:35 to go in the second quarter. We'll see if that turbocharges the Bulldogs a little bit as we head down the stretch in this one. 5:36 to go. The Bulldogs will go for 2. Carson Smith under center, 2 tight end T. Smith turn. Fake handoff, bootleg right to pass, throws it to the end zone all alone. Braden LaCroix takes in the lob pass. It's caught good. 2-point conversion is good. It's 28-16 with 5:36 in the second. Remember again, it is the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame's 50th anniversary, and they're looking for your help. So go to grshof.com to participate. Their latest question: who is the top West Michigan male athlete you have watched perform for a West Michigan team or individually in the last 50 years? Also, make sure to check out the Family Fair Tailgate Special of the week. This week, it is again buy one, get one free Open Acres country-style ribs with Yes Card at Family Fair. Thanks, of course, to the Grandville Scott Bates Farms Insurance Agency and Centennial Security. See them rotating all game long on the main screen. They are presenting sponsors here at Michigan Game Night. Scott Bates is on our banner as well out in the concourse, which is a packed, I can't even see the banner, a packed concourse area here at Grandville this evening. A huge crowd watching this one. So the Bulldogs have pulled back within a couple scores again, 28-16 with 5:36 to go in the second. Caledonia crowded in. Maybe they were expecting the onside kick, which used to be a key part of this Bulldogs special teams over the past few years. Haven't seen it as much this year. Right to left, Isaac Strock will send it away for the Bulldogs. It is an onside kick. Run ahead, and the Bulldogs have it. I think it's Nesbitt at the bottom of the pile. It went far enough. It's Grandville football at the 46-yard line. It is Nesbitt able to run after it and get it. The Bulldogs hands team a perfectly executed rolling onside kick, just squibs ahead, and Grandville's got it in plus territory with 5:36 to go in the second, and this feels like a whole new ball game.
What a change of events in these last couple of plays. I mean, the Scots are expecting the onside kick, as you said, but then Nesbitt, the awareness, obviously prepared for that and realizing where the ball was going to cross 10 yards down the field and able to jump on it.
All right, 2 tight end T, handoff here on to Sadinsky. Big hole, angles left side 40, 35-yard line, stiff arm over the 35, out of bounds to the 34. Wrestled out of bounds by Maddox Greenfield. Gotta move the chains. The Bulldogs are rolling now. 5:29 in the second, 28-16. They trail, but the momentum's in their direction, and the football is in their direction right now at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, the offense now starting to look like they're back as well. One interception stalled out a drive, but ever since, they've been moving the football down the field and starting to get some big plays.
They trailed by 20 a moment ago. Now here's a handoff. Smith gave it on to Terry, pushes the pile over the 30 to the 29-yard line. Good gainer on first down. 3 yards on first, up to the 34-yard line here, 2nd and 7. Bulldogs working somewhat quickly right here as Coach Stiegel is relaying the message in from the sideline. Getting pretty animated now. Coach Stiegel, very unhappy, is forced to call a timeout as he comes out on the field to talk to his confused unit. So Bulldogs burned their second timeout of the half with 5:06 to go in the second quarter. 28-16. Caledonia, again, leads this one right now. Roll with Kroll and stay cozy this fall. Call Kroll Furnace for all of your heating and cooling needs. Furnace tune-ups are just $95, and Terrence M. says that we've been using Kroll Furnace for nearly 30 years and have never had a complaint. So choose Kroll Furnace for top-notch American-made products like Amana, and see more online at KrollFurnace.com. And are you ready to enjoy your career? Royal Technologies is hiring for assemblers, operators, material handlers, and supervisors. No matter what your talents are, there's room for you. to learn and grow, because Royal offers many benefits like paid time off, insurance after 30 days, and much more. They're even closed on Sundays, keep in mind. So visit them online at gotoroyal.com and apply today at Royal Technology. 2nd and 7 for Grandville, up to the Caledonia 31-yard line. 5:06 to go, second quarter. The Fighting Scots lead at 28-16. The Bulldogs go to work, 2 tight end T. Caledonia shifts up the defensive unit. Smith looks to the sideline for a new call. There's a lot of confusion on this Grandville side right now as Smith goes under center and the defense changes once more. Snap to Smith. Give to Sadinsky. Dragging over the 30. He'll get the 28-yard line maybe. King and company standing over top of him. A couple of yards right there. The shifting of the defense right now for Caledonia. They're shifting the outside linebackers, the defensive backs, dropping them into coverage, bringing them forward. It's really confusing the front of this Grandville offense trying to get things set up. It'll be 3rd and 5 from the Caledonia 29-yard line. 4:41 and less to go, second quarter. 28-16 Caledonia. Snap to Smith. Give to Terry. Right side. Has a big hole. Angles outside. The hashes at the 25. Bouncing away from the tackle and dives ahead to the 21-yard line. He's got the first down. Heron leveled him down, but the freshman moves the chains again. It was Kopko with the early touchdown for the Bulldogs. Terry the last one, and the freshman has been starring in this game right now for the Bulldogs, keeping them alive.
Yeah, having a monster half, just a stretch play to the right side where the defense doesn't keep contained on that side, and then Terry just able to use his speed. Another gain of 9 yards. He's up to 150 rushing yards.
From the 20 against the 5 down front, Caledonia bringing some extra pressure right here. Hand off to Kopko up the gut. And the trap play is immediately shut down by Tyler Bird right back at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 20. 3:52 and less to go, second quarter, 28-16. Caledonia, again, remember, gets the ball to start the second half, but the onside kick for the Bulldogs last time have given them a chance to get within a score maybe right here. Smith gets the call in from the sideline, looks on that quarterback wristband on the left arm and relays the message in from Coach Stiegel to his unit. They'll break it out. 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line into the red zone for the Bulldogs. 3.5 to go, second quarter, 28-16. Snap to the senior Smith. Handoff on the stretch play. Left side, Sadinsky. Over the 20 to the 15. Has blockers 10. Inside the 10 to the 8-yard line and gets wrestled out of bounds. He's got the first down. Townsend on the tackle. And a 1st and goal for the Bulldogs up to the 8.
Run the stretch play with Terry. That time they flip it and go the other way with Sadinsky. He's able to get around the outside of the Scots defense and turn it up. Now the Bulldogs inside the 10-yard line and looking to add some points on the board here, but I also think they're going to try to score whenever possible, but not the worst idea to try to take a little time off here and limit what Caledonia can do if they get the ball before halftime.
Smith under center, 1st and goal. Mark is the 9-yard line. Handoff on to Terry, cutting it up over the middle, drags the pile over the 5 down to the 6-yard line. Bird was dragging on the whole way, but he's able to move it on inside that 5-yard line to the 4. It'll be 2nd and goal for the Dogs here. 3:01 and less to go as the clock ticks under that 3-minute mark in the second quarter, 28-16. And Carson Smith will break it out with a new message right here. Slow call comes in here for the Bulldogs. One more look back to the sideline for Smith. As they're getting that call in, he'll break it out. 2nd and goal from the 4. Packed house here at Grandville in the 28-16 Caledonia lead. Bulldogs with a chance to get it back within a score, though. And Coach Stiegel, unhappy again, is forced to call a timeout. I'm not sure his team knew the play clock situation right there running down as well. So Grandville burns its final timeout of the half. 2.5 to go, second quarter. 28-16 Caledonia. High-Tone Cleaners with locations in Jenison and Grandville, Wyoming offer professional dry cleaning, laundering, bulk laundry service, shoe care and repair, and more. They also have same-day services if you drop off your items by 9 a.m., including Saturdays. High-Tone Cleaners also offers pickup and delivery service. Check them out online at hightonecleaners.com. All right, Nate Jyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. 28-16 Caledonia. 2.5 to the halftime break. And we'll see, Chandler, with the Bulldogs out of this timeout. They're going to be able to dream up. They got 3 chances to get into the end zone right here to get it to within a 1-score game from the 4-yard line.
I've seen the Bulldogs have to burn all 3 timeouts to this point. Usually the communication pretty smooth between the coaching staff and the Bulldogs, but having to use the timeouts.
Snap to Smith, give Jaden Terry up the middle, shut down right away. The inside of that Caledonia defense, Vogler and Heron wrap him up right away. He'll get a yard ahead to the 3-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and goal. Taking a long time to unravel this pile right here. They now will do so. Been impressed with Vogler, the sophomore. Normally plays safety. He's moved to the inside of the defense. Of course, that injury to Theron Sanders this week. So 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. You wonder here for Grandville, they've been pretty stuck to running the football. If we'll maybe see the pass game broken. Now, we talk about the pass game being the X factor. It certainly has been in Caledonia's direction, to say the least, in terms of the advantage. All right, 2 tight end T. 3rd and goal from the 3. Smith under center. Fake handoff, bootleg keeper, left side at the 5. Diving to the corner of the end zone. Outstretching the right arm, getting a piece of the pylon. Touchdown, Grandville. There is a penalty marker down, though, and I think it's going to be a hold on the Bulldogs if I look at the boundary official.
That's a big play.
Touchdown, Grandville, but a penalty marker down. We'll have to wait for the call right here. And it is a hold that'll back him up 10 yards, and that is a real buzzkill for the Bulldog home side right here. Smith was in the end zone on an unbelievable individual effort, but instead now Grandville's going to have 3rd and goal from the 11, which limits their playbook even more, what they can look at right here.
Yeah, I think they got Jaden Terry trying to get out in front of the play and lead block for Carson Smith. Just ended up holding the defender right along the goal line right at the last second.
28-16 Caledonia. With 1:46 to go in the second. Carson Smith looks to go under center, and then Caledonia calls their first timeout of the first half. 1:46 to go. 28-16 in the second quarter. At Barber Ford, they provide a vast selection of new and used vehicles, exceptional car care, and customer service. With competitive prices offered on every pre-owned model for sale in their lot, you won't find a reason to visit any other dealership in Holland. Check out their inventory at barberford.net. DJ's Pizza Pub, located in beautiful downtown Hudsonville, serves a variety of outstanding pizzas, including Chicago-style deep dish, thin crust, and other specialty pizzas, along with wings, salads, and subs. You can dine in, carry out, or have it delivered for your convenience. Give DJ's a call at 616-669-9550, or visit them online at djspizzapub.com. 1:46 to go, second quarter, so 3rd and goal from the 11. And again, Chandler, like I mentioned, playbook shrunk a little bit right here in terms of what Grandville can do. Normally a team that's very well built to get 3 yards around the goal line. Things shrink a little bit what they can go to right here.
Yeah, really interesting to see if they take their shot with a play-action pass here, try to catch the defense off guard, or if they run the football and get to a 4th down situation where maybe they can run it again.
2 tight end T. Sadinsky splits out right slot. Fake handoff, bootleg left to pass. Smith touch it down at the 5. Big hole, touchdown Grandville. Oh boy, Carson Smith's legs gets the Bulldogs right back on the board and right back in the football game. 28-22, 1:40 to go, second quarter.
Some misdirection on the play-action pass. They run the offensive line and move it like they're going to the right, like we've seen them roll out that way so many times, and then Carson Smith just reverses that, goes right back to his left. They have one route running to the end zone, the defense there to cover it, but Carson Smith able to realize no one between him and the goal line, so he just tucks and runs.
They will go for 2 here and try to get it within 4. Smith under center, 2 tight end T. Defense changing up for Caledonia with 3 down front. Fake handoff, bootleg left to pass, and Smith is wrapped up and sacked. Bird, Pennington, all over him, and for the first time, Grandville fails on a 2-point conversion in this one. But it's only a 6-point game, 28-22. That could be interesting as well down the stretch in this one, with 1:40 to go in the second quarter. When it comes to your home parking lot and roads, you want a smooth and safe and attractive surface for walking and driving. Trust professionals at Bruce's Blacktop with 30 years of experience to get the job done right. Check them out online at brucesblacktopllc.com. All right, CT, 1:40 to go, second quarter. And for Grandville, a big defensive stop needed here, and then a big defensive stop needed to start the second half. But the math on this game has changed a little bit with the last few moments in this one with back-to-back Bulldog scores.
Yeah, since the last time the Caledonia offense was on the field, things have changed quite a bit, and the Bulldogs able to string a couple of scores together, will themselves back into this game now, have taken up just enough time to minute 40, and a couple timeouts. The Scots have enough time to work, but the Bulldogs just going to try to hold on until halftime here.
All right, they onsided it last time. Right hand in the air, right to left. Isaac Strock will send it away. Strock, right leg through the ball. This is a full punched kick taken inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Running right up the middle of the field with DJ Walker. Big hole over the 35 to the 40, 45, 50-yard line. Tackled from behind by Hungerford in the enemy territory. But a penalty marker down at the 30-yard line on the other side of the field should be bringing that one back anyway, because the hole that he used to get open appeared to come from a hold in the open field.
Just able to run right through the middle of the return team, and of course the hold coming in there that allowed him to do so. So what could have been a huge return, give the Scots a chance to take a couple shots at the end zone with plenty of time left. Now going to set them back and make them work the distance of the field.
All right, 1:31 to go, second quarter, 28-22. Caledonia's offense has been explosive. 4 total touchdowns for Mason McKenzie, 3 of which have all come on deep strike TD throws through the air. We'll see if he is able to turbocharge this offense down the field one more time. The mark will be right at their own 20-yard line on the right hash mark to start this drive. A minute and a half to go, second quarter, 28-22. Grandville has brought it back a little bit after being down 28-8 at one point. And now we'll see what Caledonia can do to try to bring some of that advantage back. From the right hash mark at their own 20-yard line, they got to go 80 yards. They'll go 3 receiver set from the gun. Bulldogs bring 4 down linemen. McKenzie stands in the shotgun. Straight drop to pass for the senior. Has some time. Fires deep. Over the middle of the field. Overthrown at the 40-yard line. His intended target was Evan Graham. On the coverage was Drew Hungerford. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 20. But right away, Caledonia makes their intentions known with a deep strike.
Yeah, they run one deep route. Very similar to the touchdown Graham scored on the post. This time, Hungerford, they're able to run stride for stride with him, force the overthrow.
That's the most impressive thing I think about McKenzie as well is he did throw a pick last week, but for the most part, he doesn't put the ball in a dangerous position. If his guy can't get it, there's a good chance that no one is going to be able to get to it. You see that right there as well. So Caledonia own 20-yard line with 1:25 to go in the half, up 28-22. The work from the shotgun here. McKenzie in the gun, 3 receiver set. Pennington the wing off the right side of the line right here. 4 down linemen. Snap to Mason McKenzie. Rolls straight left to pass. Fires back across his body. Caught 19-yard line. Pennington runs over the 25 and walks out of bounds at the 26. That'll be a couple yards short of the first down as they throw it in the flat on the safety valve tight end / wing back. The H-back position as it's known as officially for this unit. It'll be 3rd down and short right here. 3rd and 4 for Caledonia. 1:19 to go. Clock stopped as Pennington smartly gets out of bounds. That's the main thing about this team, Triana, that makes them so tough. This is a very smart football team. It seems like they make that right play so often.
Yeah, they really don't make a lot of mistakes. Don't turn the football over. They're just getting a couple yards, gives them a 3rd and medium here, and the clock stopped. Can have time to talk things over.
All right, 3rd and 4. Bulldogs shift the defensive line. Snap to McKenzie. Straight drop to pass. Has some time. Lines up. Fires deep. Right side. Diving grab made at the 31-yard line. Laying out was Caden DeHorn. And Caledonia's got it deep down into Bulldog territory. I think the Grandville sideline wants a push-off called on DeHorn. They're not going to get it. Caledonia's got the ball at the Grandville 30 with 1:07 to go.
Yeah, just a true jump ball. DeHorn able to find the ball and then create a little bit of separation and come down with the catch.
From the gun, McKenzie goes to work. Low snap, rolls left to pass, fires left, flat, underthrown, and a diving attempt cannot be made by Justice Reed. It'll be 2nd and 10, right back at that 30-yard line. 55 seconds to go. Grandville's defense nearly had the stop made. Now Caledonia seems to be certainly threatening one more time with this explosive offense. It's amazing the way that we've seen this pass game able to operate. You know, we saw a couple moments of Grand Blanc, a couple of moments of Hudsonville able to stretch the field on the Bulldogs, but nothing quite like this.
Yeah, and McKenzie just having a ton of time. Not a real pass rush from the Bulldogs right now. It just allows McKenzie to have a clean pocket and fire the ball down the field.
Empty backfield, trips left. 2nd and 10 from the Bulldog 30. Low snap, McKenzie drop to pass. Has a whole bunch of time. Now he'll roll left side of the pocket, collapsing. Tucks it down over the 30 to 25 and walks out at the 24-yard line as Graverson shadows him on his way out. It will be 3rd down and 4 from the 24. 47 seconds to go. Clock stops, second quarter, 28-22. Also, the clock has been stopped at pretty much the end of every single play outside of that one deep grab. That's been the other part that's kept this drive going for Caledonia. It's still nearly 50 seconds to get things done. They lead at 28-22, late first half. Caledonia goes back to a 3 wide receiver set. Tailback Townsend in the right hip of McKenzie. 4 down lineman for the Bulldogs. Snap to McKenzie. Drops, throws left flat. Overthrown, looking for Reed. It's 4th and 4. A rare miscue right there from McKenzie. Just kind of straight missed Reed in the flat. And now decision time for Coach Pennington, who waltzes onto the field with hands on either hip.
Yeah, It just looked like not on the same page as the receiver. A pretty easy throw as the defense playing back. The lane was there to throw it, and just the receiver not in the same spot as where the throw went down the field. Hard to tell if that's a poorly run route or if McKenzie just let that one sail a little bit.
All right, big moment. They're going to go for it right here. Would have been probably on the edge of field goal range possibly for them. So they'll break it out from the Grandville 24-yard line. 4th and 4 for Caledonia. They lead at 28-22. 44 seconds to go, second quarter. Wingback goes in motion across the line. McKenzie snap, rolls left side, throws it in the flat, caught by Pennington, blown up, pass incomplete. He dropped it on the big hit from Sudinsky. Turnover on downs, Grandville football, 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. Wow! What a hit by Sudinsky, the sophomore, leveling a D1 level tight end. The ball straight away from him.
Yeah, Sudinsky did not flinch. That's 6'2", 220 Pennington in the flat. He had the ball all but caught. All he had to do was secure it, and he had the first down. And Sudinsky just lowers the shoulder right into the gut, and the ball came out. What a hit.
So now 40 seconds, down just 6. Grandville was down 20 points just a moment ago in this game, and wow, they have turned this thing around. Bulldogs will go to work from their own 24-yard line, 2 tight end T. Carson Smith under center. Caledonia brings 5 down linemen. Snap to Smith. Handoff. Up the gut on Akopko. Has some space over the 35 and dives ahead to the 41-yard line. Tackle is made in the secondary by the junior cornerback, Maddox Greenfield. Bulldogs have to work quickly. We go under 32 seconds right here. Up to their own 42-yard line. 1st and 10. Snap. Give on the Kopko again, lowers the head, and this time it was shut down right away to the 45-yard line. They got to keep it moving. 21 seconds and less to go. Clock ticks under 20. 28-22. Final seconds of the second quarter. Grandville at their own 45-yard line. They got a chance for one more play right here.
9 seconds to go.
Snap to Carson Smith. Handoff up the gut on Akopko. Spins in the open field over the 45, down to the 44-yard line, and that'll do it for the first half of play. They try to get him free on the trap play, but didn't go to anything too dangerous. All right, we got ourselves a football game. Coach Stiegel clapping, cheering his way off the field, and we welcome you into the Centennial Securities halftime show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler, Timmer, 28-22. Granville leads, or Caledonia leads at the half, but the energy feels like Granville might lead this one. It was 28-8 midway through the second quarter, and it seemed all but over. And all of a sudden, the Bulldogs, they score. Jaden Terry lights this place on fire. They get the onside kick. They score. They get a huge stop deep in their own territory. Caledonia gets the ball to start the second half, but we have pretty much a new ball game starting from scratch, 28-22.
Yeah, things were looking pretty bleak, but then the offense able to put together a drive, get some points, and all of a sudden things start to click. They're able to just get one thing to kind of go their way, and you can build off it from there. Obviously, the defense can have a big task in front of them, but they put themselves in a great spot to try to claw them all the way back into this one.
All right, we've got a lot to break down, so please do not go anywhere. This is the Centennial Securities halftime show. 28-22, Caledonia over Grandville at the half. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit foldingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
Located just 20 minutes from Grand Rapids and Kent City, the Falls at Barber Creek is one of Michigan's premier golfing destinations. The beautifully designed 18-hole public golf course welcomes golfers of all ages and skill levels. Its challenging track with dramatic elevation changes through breathtaking scenery, including a 40-foot waterfall, makes it a place you're definitely going to want to play. Check out the course with a drone flyover and reserve your tee times at thefallsatbc.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Founded in 1969, J&H Family Stores has grown from a single tank truck to over 50 convenience store locations in West Michigan. Our locations offer a variety of fuel options ranging from Exxon, Mobil, Marathon, and Citgo. At many of our stores, you'll also be pleased to find a Tim Hortons or Subway. Find the location near you by visiting myjhfamilystores.com. There's one in your neighborhood.
What could be better than a thick, crispy, cheesy to the edge Detroit-style pizza? How about the best Detroit-style pizza? You won't find it in a hut, and it definitely doesn't come from a focus group or a committee. Nope. Because the best Detroit-style pizza on the planet only comes from Detroit, and it's made by Jets. Jets Detroit.
Let's take a look. As I mentioned over the phone, wear and tear.
Oh man, they're never gonna buy this thing. Wear and tear? Well, there's the coffee stain on the seat. It needs new brakes. All four wheels squeak. The passenger door doesn't even have a handle. Not to mention that one time I went to my uncle's farm and backed up into a truck full of
Should about cover it, you're all set.
Show's entitled Once.
Don't overthink it. Similar to Weller.
There's something for everyone on Pizza Ranch's legendary buffet. Our pizza buffet features hot, cheesy goodness, slice after slice after slice. Try our signature pizzas or request your favorite combination with our Buffet Your Way option, and you'll get the first piece. With endless possibilities, you're sure to find your ranch favorites. Everyone will agree that cactus bread is the perfect dessert to end your meal. For legendary food that everyone loves, there's so much to love at Pizza Ranch.
Welcome back. Centennial Securities halftime show. 28-22. Caledonia leads Grandville. I haven't had to say Grandville trails at the half so far. CT. Let's go over some scoring. We'll go over some stats. We'll talk about a couple of things here and keep it going. This is a very full scoring report compared to what we're used to, even with a high-scoring Grandville team on the year. So we look at this game. The first two touchdowns came from Mason McKenzie. First, it was a 13-yard TD run, and then a 36-yard TD strike to Townsend through the air that made it 14-0 with a pair of extra points. Grandville then, with a minute 40 to go in the first quarter, answered with a 37-yard Carson Kopko fullback trap TD run. Carson Smith added the 2-point conversion to make it 14-8, and then just a minute later, with 44 seconds to go, McKenzie finds Graham on a long 51-yard strike. Vogler adds the extra point, 21-8 Caledonia at the end of the half. The Fighting Scots came up with a stop, they came up with the ball, and they came up with another touchdown. McKenzie found Reed on a 35-yard strike. They added the extra point with Vogler, and that made it 28-8. Midway through, again, less than 6 minutes to go in the first half. It was 28-8, and then Jaden Terry went 70 yards to the house. LaCroix able to grab one from Smith with a 2-point conversion, 28-16. The Bulldogs then go to the onside kick. They get it back with a huge play from Tyson Nesbitt. Carson Smith on third and goal from the 11, runs it into the end zone on the keeper himself. Kind of a bit of an audible play midway through. It was a pass play with a rollout to the left. He tucks it down, he scores, and then they're no good on the 2-point conversion, but they're within a score, 28-22. A big stop also right before the end for the Bulldogs. Caledonia gets the ball to start the second half, but a wild back-and-forth game that Grandville certainly turned around out of nowhere. Here's some stats.
Yeah, some big numbers for both sides. We'll start with the Bulldogs. Smith had one completion for 13 yards. Those 13 yards went to Sadinsky. In the rushing category, Terry, 157 yards. With that huge touchdown run, definitely helping him out there on the 70-yard run. Kopko, 71 total rushing yards. Smith with 12, and Sadinsky with 55.
Wow.
Flipping over to the Scots here. McKenzie, 6 completions, 3 touchdowns, 175 yards to go with 90 rushing yards for McKenzie. Then Townsend, 21 rushing yards. Pennington with 12 rushing yards, and then pretty evenly distributed among the targets in the receiving game. Townsend with a 36-yard touchdown. Graham for 51. Reed with a total of 38. Pennington 6. And DeHorn with the 44-yard catch.
Caledonia team, easy for me to say, last week they only threw the ball, 8 times, I think, the entire game. They're at 7 or 8 already in the first half of this one, Chandler. I mean, the game has not been exactly the script of what we expected at all. I think we expected both teams to try to control the ball via the run game a little bit. Longer possessions, maybe just each team getting the ball once per quarter like what we saw last year when these two teams faced off. Instead, Caledonia has brought out really kind of an unseen deep strike attack with Mason McKenzie throwing it all over the place with 3 touchdowns already through the air. It's different than what we expected, but you wonder if the second half, with a close game like this, the way things have come back together, if maybe the second half looks more like what we originally expected.
Yeah, I think both teams going to go into the halftime here, regroup a little bit, catch their breath after running back and forth that many times and kind of come out with a different game plan here. I think both teams at times felt like they got away from their game plan and what they really are hoping to do here. And now with the game, just a one-score possession or one-score game back to that situation, I think they can get a little bit more back to the original game plan.
All right, Centennial Securities halftime. So 28-22, Caledonia over Grandville here at the half. Caledonia will get the ball to start the second half, but don't go anywhere because it certainly is a very interesting one coming up the rest of the way as the Grandville band continues to play on in this one. Battle of unbeatens in the OK Red so far, definitely living up to expectations. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car. And the car was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Deer Dance Floor, December 1st, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Welcome back, Centennial Securities halftime show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer will rejoin me in just a moment. 28-22, Caledonia over Grandville at the half. Let's kind of buzz around the area right now. Some halftime scores. Remember, MichiganSportsRadio.com has all live scores along with all of the live broadcasts, up to 15 or so on each Friday night. Of course, our game 28-22, Caledonia over Grandville at the half. Jennison leads Grand Haven 14-0 in the second quarter. Hudsonville also up 14-0 over West Ottawa in the second quarter. By the way, the same score also in the OK Red in the second quarter. Rockford 14, East Kentwood 0. Byron Center leads Greenville 19-2 in the second. Forest Hill Central with 24-3 lead over Northview at the half, and West Catholic leads Allendale 14-0 in the second of that game. Unity Christian, back to another one of our kind of area teams here, leads 32-6 over Hamilton at the half. Grand Rapids Catholic Central has doubled up Forest Hills Eastern 28-14 in the second, and South Christian with a 21-0 lead over Thornapple Kellogg in the second. And kind of one of the other big games around the area this week, Zeeland West 26-14 leads Muskegon at the half, so maybe a surprise there to some, but of course if you tune into the MGN Football Tailgate Report, you know how hot I have been on Zeeland West all year long so far. So a really good performance from Coach Shilato's team right there. Sparta over Belding 21-18 at the half, and a big one right there as well. And a ton of other games going on, including Frankenmuth up over Freeland right now in the middle part of the state, 7-0 at the half. All right, we got a lot still coming up. Chandler will rejoin me in a moment for the Centennial Securities halftime show. We'll break down more of what we can expect in this second half of play. Scots 28, Dogs 22 at the half. We will be right back.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you identify your number one personal trait? The thing that you do better than most others? If not, this may be a good time to think this through. If you're really good at writing, then why use the phone? If you're great on the phone, why use email? If you have exceptional human relation skills, why sit back and let others lead? I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities Company. Playing to our strengths is something we do very well at Centennial. And if you're already a customer, you know what I mean. If not, isn't it about time? Member SIPC?
For over 60 years, Earhart Construction has successfully built some of the most well-known structures and facilities across the West Michigan landscape. Providing a distinctive construction experience for our clients has been Earhart's priority since the beginning, and it continues to be their primary focus today. We can't wait to make your next commercial or residential project a reality. Contact us today by visiting earhartcc.com.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage. If you are 18 years of age or older, AHC Hospitality is hiring for several open positions at its downtown hotels. Benefits, hotel discounts, and more. Positions include front desk, housekeeping, restaurant, and management roles at our 5 premier downtown hotels. Visit ahcjobs.com to jumpstart your career at one of 5 world-class hotels in downtown Grand Rapids, including the Amway Grand Plaza and the JW Marriott Grand Rapids. Again, visit ahcjobs.com.
Cornerstone University.
The professors are very open to helping whenever they can.
Academic excellence, character-driven athletics, Christ-centered community involvement.
Cornerstone has been a great opportunity for me to grow as a leader, just being able to approach people and be warm and welcoming and hospitable.
Experience it for yourself. Attend a Golden Eagle Day at Cornerstone for a taste of campus life and the chance to meet faculty and staff. To arrange a visit for your high school junior or senior, go to cornerstone.edu. Cornerstone University. Build a life that matters.
Welcome back, Centennial Securities Halftime Show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you here on Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. 28-22, Caledonia over Grandville at the half. But again, a game that Caledonia, with just under 6 minutes to go in that half, led by 20 points. Chandler, things have completely turned around. Going to be fascinating how things start. First off, will Grandville go to the onside kick again? Maybe. It's something that has worked well for them in this game, worked well for them historically. Remember back in past years where they did that quite often based on what their kicking situation is. Of course, they trust Isaac Strock to boot it away right now, but that's something that's always been in the back burner. And then a big stop potentially needed. So a lot of different questions, but I guess first off, let's focus on this first drive, what you're maybe expecting to see right here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Caledonia tries to get back to the run game a little bit. That's what they've made most of their season off from coming into this point. They run the football a lot. Of course, they had some dynamic plays in the pass game, and so they're not going to completely abandon that. They're going to still have that in the playbook, but I think the read option that we saw early on with McKenzie, he was racking up rushing yards pretty quickly. I think they're going to try to control the football just a little bit more with the offense and maybe try to work the way down the field that way.
Maybe the most impressive thing for me about this Caledonia attack has been how strong this offensive line is. An offensive line that lost 3 of 5 players from last year's team, a very young unit up front when you look at them, but you can mostly see it, yes, in the run game, but especially in the time that McKenzie has had to pass. This is a Grandville front line that, as we know, can get after you in both the run and the pass, especially attacking, getting to the quarterback in the pass rush. McKenzie's had plenty of time to throw the ball. We'll see if that translates to the run game as well. But that battle in the trenches, it's been slanted in Caledonia's direction. That's where Grandville's going to have to look to try to get some momentum back on both sides of the ball. They got it a little bit on offense, but especially on defense, they got to get that push neutralized if they're going to have any chance.
Yeah, just got got to try to get any sort of pressure on McKenzie that you can. I mean, and you talked about we've seen them get pressure on teams that like to throw the football in the past, whether that was against Grand Blanc or Hudsonville. We've seen them cause some havoc in the backfield and just get some pressure in the face of the quarterback and really rush things and can help your secondary out a ton. They're going to need to get a little bit of a push to try to help that secondary out, because when McKenzie's got all day to stand back there and let those deep routes develop, he's going to be dangerous.
28-22, Caledonia leads Grandville at the half. All right. Carson Smith, first half, he was under pressure. He threw an interception. First time we've seen him throw one this year, and kind of under duress doing so. The pass game has not really developed much for Grandville. It hasn't had to develop so far. But I hate to say Carson Smith an X factor, because he's in the middle of everything, of course, for the Bulldogs. But I feel like his play in the second half, he did a lot with his legs, but he probably needs to get that arm going a little bit if Grandville's going to have a chance to maybe mix things up offensively, because I don't expect to see the kind of movement they got at the end of that first half. I don't expect to see that throughout all of this second half against this Caledonia really tough front line.
Yeah, started to run the ball a lot more effectively there towards the end of the first half, but I think you're at some point going to need the play action once again. There's going to be those third and fourth down situations where they're going to need to draw something up. We saw them get a little bit creative in the red zone, and where Carson Smith was then able to tuck it and run instead of throwing it down the field, but I think he's going to continue to have some more looks. The interception, a tough play for him where he had a defender in his face and just quickly rushed the throw. It was right to the defender, but that's a tough play for Carson Smith to make. But I think the continuing move forward, they're going to continue to give him a chance to execute this offense, roll out and throw the football down the field.
All right, that was the Centennial Securities halftime show. After deferring the option to start, Caledonia will get the ball to open up the second half play. Lights fully illuminating the turf here at Grandville. An absolutely packed house, not a single seat to be found on either side of this place. And right to left, the Bulldogs get ready to boot this one away with Isaac Struck in just a moment. 12 minutes up on the board. Caledonia leads by 6, and we are almost ready to go. Walker and Reed back to return. Reed stands on the left side, 1 yard deep in his own end zone. Walker stands on the right side along the hash marks at the 3. Right arm in the air. Strock right to left, strides forward, right leg through the football, and he'll angle one down to the 6 yard line, taken in between the hash marks here by Walker. He'll angle it outside the left hash marks, outside the numbers at the 25, and dives down to the 29 yard line. He came squirting out on the other side, but I think he's initially and will be initially marked down at the 29. So, okay, field position here for Caledonia as Mason McKenzie and company get ready to go to work. 11:54 on the clock, and a really big drive where I think we're going to learn a lot right here, Chandler.
Yeah, I think now's the time where Coach Landis has shown his ability to make adjustments, see what the game plan has been for the opposing team, and then come out and counter that in the second half. And even though it was in a short clock situation before the half, they came away with a stop, trying to build off from that right before halftime.
From the 3 receivers set out of the gun, here's the snap, give to Townsend, fake, read option, keeper, right side, over the 30, cutting up 35-40, 35-50, right sideline 40, 45-30, down to the 20, 15-yard line, 10, 5, touchdown, Mason McKenzie, all the way to the house, 7 yards, races by Cash Ruff. He cut into the open field, and McKenzie quiets the Grandville crowd awful quick, 34-22. Wow.
Yeah, just an amazing playmaker there. I mean, the ability to, off the read option, again, to kind of bounce it around the outside, didn't able to cut it right past the tackle where he usually takes that. Instead had to outrun the edge defender at first, but then able to turn upfield. You can just see the wheels and the ability to outrun some of the secondary players all the way to the end zone. And how many plays like that now have we seen where you think you're locking into a bit of a slower game, maybe control the pace and the football a little bit, to now just running down the sidelines and long touchdowns.
All right, so now Caledonia will go for 2 as they're going to try to take away that Bulldog advantage they had, and they'll spread them out 4 wide right here in an empty backfield. Snap to McKenzie, has some time, rolling right now, flush from the pocket, throws to the back of the end zone on his knees. A grab is made, corralling that one by Evan Graham. 2-point conversion, good, and a big 2-point conversion at that. 36-22 Caledonia with still 11:42 to go in this second half, or third quarter of play. We'll be right back here from Grandville.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
Need to replace that worn-out carpet or floor? Floor Coverings International makes it easy. They bring their mobile showroom to you. Save yourself the trip and gas shopping around. See a wide selection of carpet, hardwood, laminate, and vinyl in the lighting of your own home. Go to floorcoveringsinternational.com today for your free consultation. Work with one team for a hassle-free experience from the quote to installation. And each Floor Coverings International business is independently owned and operated, so they are local business owners in our community. Floor Coverings International, the flooring store at your door.
Carson Kopko, the ball on the kickoff, takes it over the 20, angling outside the numbers of the 23-yard line, where he's tackled from behind, but a late penalty marker comes out. We're going to have to see what this one is. Again, it was thrown after that tackle was made, kind of 10 yards off the ball right here, as the officials will come in for a meeting right here.
Early signal there for a hold just on the far side of the field, away from where Kopko was running the football.
That could be bad news for Grandville, as this will back up an okay return. They got up around that 25-yard line and instead take them well backwards right here. We'll wait for this call. It is a hold against the Bulldogs. So that will take Grandville back inside their own 15-yard line to the 12 right here. So rough starting position now for Grandville as they suddenly are down 2 scores again, 36-22. Certainly not the end of the game, but it's a different bit of an equation right here for Grandville. They got to work out of the 2 tight end T. Snap to lead to Carson Smith here. Here it is now. Handoff, Jaden Terry, right side, pushing the pile, bouncing out the other side, and diving down to the 19-yard line. Good carry for Jaden Terry on his first carry of this second half, and so impressive as I think that puts him over 160 yards on the ground in this contest as he gets 7 right there. 2nd and 3 here for Grandville from their own 19, 11-14 in less third quarter, 36-22 Caledonia.
Yeah, you have to imagine the second half attack here is going to feature a lot of Jaden Terry running the football. He's been explosive.
Under center here is Smith. Give up the gut on to a churning Jaden Terry, who will push it down, and I think he's got the 22 to move the chains. He does. Just at the marker, got the 3 yards he needed, moves it ahead, and Grandville will move the chains one more time. So the Bulldogs kind of chunking it right now with Terry, but they're down 2 scores again, 36-22, 10:44 and less to go, third quarter. I think for Grandville, turning this into a long possession and a score, getting a stop, long possession and score is maybe front of mind for what they're potentially looking to pull off. 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line, just inside the left hash mark for the Bulldogs. Caledonia, 5 down linemen, shifting the pressure here. Give to Terry, stretch run, right side, at the 25, cutting it up ahead of the 28-yard line, twisted down by Vogler after 7 or 8 on first down. Another good carry for Jaden Terry. They're going to only give him the 27-yard line. I thought he got the 28, but it will be the 28-yard line. And it's 6 yards, 2nd and 4 here for the Bulldogs. 10:01 and less to go, third quarter, and all Jaden Terry so far in the second half.
Continue to feed Terry. I mean, you've seen even on the plays where there's not a lot of room for him to run, his ability to create bounce off tackles, continue to move forward. They're going to let him continue to go to work.
2 tight end T, Smith under center. Give to Sedinsky, lowers the shoulder right into a tackling pile, and Vogler levels him. He got 1 yard to the 29-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3. So 3rd and 3 from the 29, their own 29 here for the Bulldogs, in between the hash marks. 9.5 to go, third quarter, 36-22. And the Bulldogs break it out, looking for a big conversion right here to keep it going. They're down 2 scores again very quickly. Mason McKenzie opened up the second half with a 70-yard keeper touchdown. Caledonia showing a whole bunch of pressure. Give to Terry, right side, pushing the pile. He's got the first down. He hit the pile at the line of scrimmage, squirts out the other side to the 35-yard line, and that'll move the chains again.
Yeah, Terry just able to, I mean, the middle was bottled up. Both offensive and defensive players in the trenches all kind of jumbled together, and Terry just ran full speed into it and said, I'm going to take you all with me. Got 6 yards and a big conversion there on 3rd and 3.
1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line, in between the hashes for the Bulldogs. 2 tight end T out there. Snap to Smith, give on to Kopko up the gut, bottled up right away the inside of the defense, and Pennington slings him down right away at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 right back at the 35-yard line. Sadinsky to the right, Terry to the left, and in the middle, Carson Kopko, the Bulldog running back unit right here. Stockwell and LaCroix, the tight ends. Caledonia been utilizing a 5-down lineman front, 4 linebackers, 2 high safeties for most of the day. They kind of shift the 2 outside members between linebacker, defensive line, and secondaries. They've been changing their pressures. They do it right here, putting a couple extra edge rushers. Fake handoff initially on to Kopko, given on to Terry. Breaking it outside the numbers at the 40 and twists ahead to the 42-yard line as he's brought down by his shoelaces by Blake Heron on the outside. It'll be 3rd and short as, again, it's just the Jaden Terry show so far in this second half as the Bulldogs riding the freshman for 8 more right there up to their own 43.
Terry, again, almost close to turning that one up the field. Doing a couple times. He's been tackled pretty high up and had some defenders reaching around the horse collar area. Haven't seen it called yet, but something to keep an eye on.
2 tight end T for the Bulldogs on 3rd and 3. Give to Terry, up the gut again, pushes the pile past the 45. He's got the first down again. What an effort by the freshman, just carrying the mail right now for Grandville in this one. They're looking for a long churning drive to put points on the field and keep their defense off, and they are calling on the freshman to do it all right now.
Huge spot for Jaden Terry. Seen the big plays, but now just to work a drive down the field, getting those tough yards. Without Tyson Mann in there, he's going to be the guy.
7-11 third quarter, 36-22 Caledonia. Smith, handoff, Sadinsky, stretch run, left side, has a hole over the 50 to the 45-yard line, stutter step, and he walks out of bounds at the 42 as he was knocked out from down low by Maddox Greenfield. Another first down moving run, this time from the sophomore Sadinsky, and the Bulldogs move the chains again. And remember, without Mann, they are so young, the Bulldogs are, at this running back group. Sadinsky, a sophomore. Terry, of course, a freshman, as I've mentioned a few times, you may have picked up on. And in the middle, Kopko, a junior. This whole unit will be back for at least 1 more year for the Bulldogs after this. And it's amazing to watch their development even throughout this season. From the Caledonia 42-yard line, we go under 7 minutes to go in the third. Caledonia by 2 scores. Snap to Carson Smith. Kind of a choppy give on to Sadinsky, and he'll lower the shoulder and get nowhere right back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 from the 42-yard line. One of kind of the more incomplete, unclean handoffs of the game, and the sophomore able to go nowhere because of it.
Seen it a couple times. Just the push from the Scots defensive line, creating some issues in the backfield. It doesn't take much just to mess with that timing a little bit in an offense that's so intricate with the handoffs and the fakes.
2nd and 10 for Grandville, Caledonia 42-yard line. 6:24 and less, and a 2-score Fighting Scott lead. They lead by 14. Handoff. Sadinsky is faked. It's given on to Jaden Terry. He'll bounce it out right side, broke the first tackle, and dives ahead to the 41-yard line. Only able to get a yard or 2 right there. And Terry a little slow to get up, as that time I actually almost thought he got twisted down by the face mask. He gets back to his feet, and it will be Bulldogs looking to get 9 yards here on 3rd down. 3rd and 9 from the 41, certainly 4-down territory. And under 6 minutes to go in a churning third quarter drive, 36-22 Caledonia, but the Bulldogs need points right here. Carson Smith under center, gets ready to go to work. 2 tight end T, defense crowding way in. Smith, give on to Kopko, broke 1 man. Big speed into the open field, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Grandville. No penalty flags, Kopko to the house. 41 yards on the trap. Kopko made a man miss, splits the safeties and scores. And Grandville back in at 36-28. That was maybe the most impressive run I can think of from Kopko. Not his longest, but he broke a tackle, and then he just split both safeties ahead of him and races to the end zone. Grandville will go for 2 here. So again, trying to get it back to a 6-point game. So Smith under center, 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. Snap to Carson Smith. Give Terry, bowling his way down towards the goal line. He is not in. He extended the ball. Coach Stiegel cannot believe it, but it is not in, and the 2-point conversion is no good. It remains 8 points, 36-28, 5:34 to go in the third. Remember, it is the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame's 50th anniversary, and they're looking for your help, so go to GRSHOF.com to participate. Their latest question is, who is the top West Michigan male athlete that you've watched perform for a West Michigan team or individually in the last 50 years? Also, remember, the Family Fair Tailgate Special Week, buy one, get one free Open Acres Country Style Ribs with Yes Car. All right, Fighting Scots will bring the return unit out right here. 5:34 to go, third quarter, 36-28. And Isaac Strock will get ready to send this one away. Well, I believe I was kind of saying before you off the air, Chandler, I kind of could see 35-28 one way or the other, maybe being the final score. I think we're going to blow past that with 5 minutes to go in the third. So Strock will get ready to send it right to left. Bulldogs home maroon uniforms, traveling whites for Caledonia. And Strock bounces the right leg through the ball. Twisting kick up the right hashes, taken at the 8-yard line by DJ Walker. He'll speed over the 25 and got laid out right there. Jackson Zook levels them. And Caledonia will start at their own 25-yard line. 5.5 to go third quarter, 36-28. And it kind of feels like a game reset right now, just with less time on the clock, as we're kind of back to where we started. Now it's an 8-point game instead of a 6-point game, the only thing that has changed from the start of this third quarter. But again, now the Grandville defense has to come up with a stop rather than giving up a 70-yard touchdown in one play like last time.
Yeah, we keep working right back to this. At some point, the Bulldogs, if the offense continues to score, are going to need to find something from the defense, whether that's a stop, a takeaway, or an onside kick to gain a possession at some point.
All right, Caledonia breaks it out. The three-receiver spread set from their own 25-yard line. Snap to McKenzie. Delayed read option keeper over the 30. Angles left to the 35, to the 40. Breaking outside the numbers at the 50. 45-30. Left sideline 30. 25-20. And he's tackled from behind at the 19-yard line by Cash Ruff. Again, Mason McKenzie in the open field. He is having maybe the game of the year that any singular player may have. And he has been unbelievable as he brings it down to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you can live with McKenzie getting through the line initially, but his ability to weave his way through the secondary, through the second level of the Bulldogs' defense has been different. That's 2 plays and almost 150 rushing yards. Not quite, but pretty close to it.
McKenzie, a guy that has about a 4.6 40, kind of deceptive speed the way he can turn on those jets. 1st and 10 from the Grandville 20-yard line. Low snap, give with a fake throw on to Townsend, and he has his legs wrapped up at the line of scrimmage as charging in on him was Landon Hunt to make that tackle. It's a gain of 2 up to the 18-yard line for Townsend, the junior. Kind of a quiet game for Townsend, not because he hasn't necessarily been effective, but mostly just because we've seen the Bulldogs all over the place getting it down the field right now.
Yeah, Townsend hasn't been asked to keep it much on the read option. It's been mostly McKenzie, but still an effective runner. Got to keep an eye on that. He can still break a long one, too, if they key in too much on McKenzie running the ball.
2nd and 8 from the 18-yard line. Snap to McKenzie. Fake handoff thrown over the middle. Diving grab made inside the 5-yard line by DeHorn, and that'll move the chains again. 1st and goal, Caledonia. So Grandville needed to stop, and again, the Fighting Scots looking unstoppable in the second half offensively, as they have been all game long. The Bulldogs just one stop in this game. It came deep in their own territory on a turnover on downs late in the first half. 36-28. They need one right here, but it's 1st and goal from the 4 for Caledonia. 4:15 in last third quarter. McKenzie from the gun, the senior, takes the snap, gave Townsend up the gut, broke one tackle, and then he's shut down by Brett Becker at the 2-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from inside the 2. We tick under 4 minutes in the third, Chandler. 36-28 Caledonia. And McKenzie in from the sideline with the call right here. They got to get 2. 2nd and goal. And McKenzie will get ready to go to work. 3 receivers set, wing back Pennington. He'll move across the line. Pennington to the left side. Snap to McKenzie. Straight down, he'll run it. Big hole, walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Caledonia. Again, Mason McKenzie. 2nd rushing TD of the half. He's got 6 in the game. He's been in on every touchdown for his team. It's 42-28. 3:37 in the third.
They motioned Pennington to that side to get him a guy on front to clear the way, but really didn't have to do a whole lot. He was able to slowly stroll into the end zone, pretty open for the 2-yard line, able to get in.
All right, Vogler looks to add the extra point here. Snap down, kick up, nearly blocked, but it tumbles through the uprights. Good. 3:37 to go, third quarter, 43-28 Caledonia. And the Fighting Scots continue to walk away in this one again down the stretch as they again open it up to a 2-score lead. West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports in Jenison is your source for quality family and sports-related chiropractic care. Visit West Michigan Chiropractic and Sports at wmchiropractic.com for more details. Did you know that roller skating is in full swing. Terry Hall Roller Rink in Grandville is open Thursday through Sunday with a variety of hours to meet your family's needs. Visit terryhall.com for details. All skate, everyone skate. 43-28 Caledonia, 3:37 to go, third quarter. And again, the Bulldogs get ready to receive right here. The Fighting Scots offense. Chandler has gone from unstoppable to somehow more unstoppable in the second half.
Yeah, they've been breaking off a couple big plays. They've gone back to running the football like what we saw early in the first half. But they've still been moving down the field quickly.
All right, Vogler to send it away. He'll stride through and punch this one. Low driving kick will tumble down just into the Grandville end zone as it's received by Kopko. But actually, they're going to say he got it at the 1 yard line. They'll let him return it. Got a big block at the 25. Stutter step outside the numbers at the 30 and gets leveled late out of bounds at the 35 yard line. No penalty marker on the late hit. And Grandville will start at their own 25 yard line. Now down 43-28. 3:27 in the third, and we're right back to the same position we were in just a few moments ago in terms of the Bulldogs. Chandler, they need a score, and then they need to figure out a stop after that. But first off, they need a score.
Yeah, the offense has started to answer the call. They've been put in some tough situations where they needed points, and they've been able to march down the field and get it back to one score a couple different times. Going to be asked to do it once again and then count on their defense.
I think it's at 35 yard line. The starting point here for the Bulldogs on the good return. Under center, Carson Smith. Give to Kopko, dragging ahead to the 39-yard line. He had his jersey and legs being engulfed right away, but he's able to pull his way ahead of that 39 as it was Jackson Engelberg wrestling him the whole way. 2nd and 6 from the 39 here for the Bulldogs. 3:10 and less to go, third quarter. 43-28 Caledonia. Out of the huddle, the Bulldogs break it out here. They go back to the two tight end tee. Carson Smith under center. Sadinsky, Kopko, Jaden Terry, the tailback unit for the Bulldogs. 5 down linemen for Caledonia. They shift up the secondary. Snap Smith, give Jaden Terry right side, pushes through the pile, gets as far as the 41-yard line as he had nowhere to go. Brock Townsend came in from the secondary to be a part of the tackling crusade, and Grandville's got a 3rd down and 4 from the 41. 2.5 to go, third quarter. Smith gets the call in from the sideline, and Coach Stiegel in number 2 in maroon relays the message. Bulldogs break it out. Carson Smith operates the two tight end unit right here from the tee. 3rd and 4, 41-yard line, down 43-28. Smith give on to Sadinsky, chopping over left guard, leveled with nowhere to go, right back at the line of scrimmage by Reed Vogler. Nothing opened up, and now Grandville on 4th and 4, their own 41 will have to go for it. Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter, and it already feels like we've kind of reached the deciding point of the game. They'll give them on the forward progress 1 yard ahead to the 42-yard line, so it's 4th and 3 as the Bulldogs quickly break it out and go to work. Carson Smith under center. 43-28 Caledonia, under 1:40 to go, third quarter. 4th and 3 for the Bulldogs. Snap to Smith. Give Jaden Terry up the gut. Got the first down over the 45-yard line. He pounds the ground as he goes down at the 46 as he nearly had a chance to break it, but just had his shoelaces taken out and tripped up. He'll mark him the 41, but they move the chains again with who else but Jaden Terry.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of night it's been for Jaden Terry, where he picks up a crucial 4th down, able to get past the chains, and he's still mad at himself because he was trying to outrun the safety to the boundary, and he was going to have a chance at another long run.
From their own 47, 1:08 to go, third quarter. 43-28 Caledonia. Give on to Sadinsky. Left side, outside the numbers at the 15. He'll tumble out of bounds to the 48-yard line, knocked out from behind by Townsend and Heron. So Sadinsky, good first down run. Gets the 48-yard line into Caledonia territory here, and he stops the clock at 59 seconds as he tumbles out into his own sideline. 43-28 Caledonia, 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs is coming up right here from that 48-yard line. 4-0 battle. Caledonia so impressive offensively. They led by 20 points at one point midway through the second quarter. The Bulldogs got 2 unanswered scores. It was a 1-score game at the half. Caledonia's offense has been able to answer significantly in the second half. They lead by 2 again. Smith under center, 2nd and 5 from the 48. Give up the gut. Kopko bounces left, dives over the 45 to the 44-yard line. Engelberg brings him down, but a good churning run from Kopko makes it 3rd and very short right here for the Bulldogs. It'll be 3rd and 1 from the 44-yard line. 42 seconds and less to go, third quarter. I'm sure they'd love to at least move the chains right before the end of this frame. Smith taking his time. Moseys out and sets the offense. He goes under center. 3rd and 1, give to Terry, has the first down, angling right side, pulling defenders over the 40 down to the 36-yard line. Another tough run moves the chains for Jaden Terry. Heron stands over top of him on the tackle. And again, though, it's Jaden Terry as we go under 16 seconds in the third. We'll see if the Bulldogs can get one more play out here.
Another play off. They're down to 10 seconds.
Smith, final 8 seconds. Getting the huddle met up with 5. 37-yard line, 1st and 10. Smith, 2 seconds, goes under center. Here's the snap. Nope, they don't get it off in time, and that'll do it for the third quarter. 43-28 Caledonia after 3. We'll be right back here from Grandville.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Start businesses, build bridges, save lives, raise a whole city. This is your future, so take it and move all of us forward.
And see what's going on. It's a great hour of your day.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. 43-28 Caledonia over Grandville. We go to the final 12 minutes of this one, and Grandville has a 1st and 10 starting from the Caledonia 37-yard line and CT. This drive coming to a head for the Bulldogs. They need to first get points right here. That's the first thing top of mind.
Yeah, I think they've been able to get across midfield now, sustaining a drive here. Obviously, they've done this before. Need to punch it in. And then I think ideally if you're drawing this last quarter up, you get a score here, and then either an onside kick or a stop, and one more possession to try to win it at the buzzer.
All right, 2 tight end T under center. Carson Smith, give up the gut to Capco, is shut down right away. Derek Pennington Jr. busting through and levels them for a loss of a couple back to the 39-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 12. As again, Pennington comes off from outside linebacker to make that play. I mean, Pennington, the guy's being recruited as a tight end at the next level, has a Central Michigan offer, but, I mean, defensive end and outside linebacker work has been outstanding. He typically plays outside linebacker. He's been a down defensive end in this game. So Grandville will go to work here from their own 39-yard line, 2nd and 12. Give on to Terry. He was stopped at the right guard, tries to angle it back up the middle. His helmet goes squirting out of the scrum, and the Bulldogs get it back shy 1 yard of the original line of scrimmage. Will be 2nd and 11 from the 38-yard line. And Terry, with that helmet off, will have to come to the sideline.
Yeah, he's been working hard a couple different times where defenders are just grabbing anything they possibly can to try to bring him down. Hard to tell exactly how it came off in the middle of the pile that time, but Terry not giving up, even though only able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, still fighting for every inch.
Graverson will take his place right here. Smith under center, 3rd and 10 play. He'll roll straight right to pass. Has LaCroix wide open, caught at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Grandville. 37-yard strike to Braden LaCroix, and the Bulldogs back within a score.
We've seen that connection quite a few times now. Carson Smith hasn't been asked to throw the football a whole ton, and that's only 2nd completion, but a huge one there. They take their shot on 3rd down the field. LaCroix wide open. Nice throw. And able to get the Bulldogs in the end zone once again.
43-34. Grandville, of course, will go for 2 right here with 10:44 to go. That LaCroix connection from Carson Smith has been impressive. And they'll go to work 2 tight end T. The Bulldogs will go for 2. Jaden Terry back in there. Sadinsky motions right slot. Straight right, drop to pass. Fire to the 1-yard line. Caught Sadinsky. Tries to dive into the end zone with a tackle coming at the goal line. He is unable to extend the ball in. And Ben Sadinsky comes down to the cramp injured after the play. But he can't quite dive his way into the end zone. It's 43-34 Caledonia with 10:44 to go in the fourth. And the math on this one just changed once again as it's a 9-point game despite the score. We'll be right back here from Grandville.
Michigan Sports Academies offers quality youth sports in Grand Rapids, Holland, and Muskegon. With a wide variety of programming, MSA has something for new athletes who are just starting out to experienced athletes looking to take their game to the next level. Year-round programming is offered in basketball, lacrosse, soccer, and volleyball. Your athlete will love the quality of instruction from experienced coaches and state-of-the-art facilities conveniently located in Grand Rapids and along the lakeshore. Check us out at MichiganSportsAcademies.com.
Looking for a great place to buy a used truck or car? Check out Extreme Truck and Auto Center, located at 1098 O'Malley Drive in Coopersville. They have a huge selection of trucks, cars, vans, and SUVs. Stop by their lot or give them a call at 616-384-3777. You can check out their inventory at xtacenter.com.
Welcome back to Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer with you. 43-34. Caledonia now leads Grandville, but with that missed two-point conversion, Chandler, the math of this game remains a two-score game with a 9-point ball game. Grandville quickly busting out of the circle to go for the onside kick. They twist and turn on the ball. It broke free out of the initial scrum and then was laid on by Reed at the 40-yard line. But I think there may have been an illegal touching against Grandville first. I don't think that ball went far enough before it scored it out. Now, there was no penalty flag that came out. One of the officials was motioning that. And it looks like the ruling right now is going to give Caledonia the football in plus territory at the Grandville 48.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs touched the ball right there at the 48. It got 8 of the 10 yards it needed down the field, and it was going to be very close if the football was going to make it that far. And if they let it go, the Scots were going to be able to jump on it. So one of the Bulldogs there just reaching for the football and grabbing it too early.
All right, big opportunity here for Caledonia, leading by 9 already with 10:44 to go in the fourth. They're going to really start to put this thing away in this battle of top 10 unbeatens. The receiver set from the gun. McKenzie will go to work. He has 6 total touchdowns. Fake handoff. Keeper left side over the 45-yard line. Outside the numbers of the 40. 35-30. Left sideline 20. 15. 10. 5. Touchdown. 7 touchdowns for Mason McKenzie. And Caledonia has just about served this one up on ice. Unbelievable. This has been one of the greatest single individual performances I've ever seen in a high school football game for McKenzie today. 7 total touchdowns, now 4 on the ground, and his team leads at 49-34.
Yeah, and you can about count on one hand the amount of different types of plays they've ran here in the second half. It's mostly been the read option. It's been McKenzie keeping it and then just bouncing it to the outside. And then the defense, he's getting some blocks down the field. The corners are getting blocked by the receivers. McKenzie just able to race past them.
All right, Vogler looks to add the extra point to make it 50 for Caledonia. Snap down, nearly blocked as Sadinsky coming in off the end. But we do have a penalty marker on the field despite that ball sailing through the uprights. Caledonia is going to decline in just a moment right here when given the option. Grandville is offside, not going to matter, however. Actually, they're going to make him reset and re-rack this one. I beg your pardon, actually. Looks like it is going to be a dead ball penalty, and Caledonia is going to have to re-kick right here for their extra point. So it remains 49-34, 10:35 to go, fourth quarter, and Caledonia continues to make a statement. Luke Vogler will come back on, looking to add the XP right here. McKenzie will be set to hold. DeHorn, the receiver, is actually the long snapper here. So they'll make them redo the PAT right here, and they'll get ready to send this one through once more. McKenzie to hold, Vogler to kick. Snap down, a little high settle, kick down, and right down the hatch one more time for Vogler. 50-34, Caledonia crosses the 50 threshold with 10:34 in the fourth in this one. Do you have a daughter interested in volleyball? Michigan Volleyball Academy runs year-round camps in clinics as well as local and travel teams in Holland and Grand Rapids. They are running a free camp for anyone interested in checking out what they have to offer. Join them October 2 in Grand Rapids or October 12 in Holland. For more information and to register, visit MichiganVolleyballAcademy.com. So 50-34. And now again a 16-point game. Remains still a 2-score game, Chandler, but the Bulldogs now in deep trouble once more as they need 2 scores two 2-point conversions, and by the way, they need to stop, which has not been something that's been easy to come by, because Mason McKenzie continues one of the great individual performances you're going to see in a high school football game.
Yeah, he's just taking over for the Fighting Scots offense. I mean, they're barely getting the football, and he's racing down the field, scoring points, going the other way. So the Bulldogs at some point going to need to come away with some sort of stop. The problem is the more these teams go back and forth trading scores, the more the clock starts to work against the Bulldogs.
You know, in our tailgate report, OK Red Power Rankings that we do each week, we've both had Caledonia at 3, behind Grandville and Rockford in the last few weeks. They've proven us mistaken, as Vogler sends us away right to left across the radio dial, taken at the 3-yard line outside the hashes by Kopko, who run it up over the 25 and got leveled out, over the 20, and got leveled out at the 22-yard line by River Sonland. And with that, the Bulldogs offense will get ready to take over at their own 21-yard line.
The offense has been able to put together a couple drives here, keep this thing alive for the Bulldogs. Now going to be asked to move a little bit quicker, though. Down a couple scores, 10 minutes to go. Going to need to make something happen, and pretty quickly here to allow the rest of the game to flow the way they want.
All right, from their own 21-yard line, 2 tight end T. Smith under center for the Bulldogs. Snap to Carson, give Jaden Terry. Stretches outside the numbers at the 20, 25, 30-yard line. And he breaks into a tackling pile at the 35 and gets leveled down to the 37-yard line. Jimmy Floyd will get the main tackle, but that will move the chains. There is one player down and injured in the scrum. Is that Jaden? It is. So Jaden Terry is down for the Bulldogs and hurt on the sideline after the hard hit that he took right there. Graverson will get ready to come in his place. They're stretching out Terry right now. He gets back to his feet and kind of hobbles off right here. But the way he has been playing in this game, goes back down on the field one more time. That's a huge loss for the Bulldogs, even for just a play or two. Best case scenario. 1st and 10 for Grandville, up to their own 37-yard line. 10-14 to go, fourth quarter. 50-34. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. Smith under center. 5 down front for Caledonia. Snap to Carson Smith. Give Reed Graverson right away as he comes on the field, takes the ball, and gets spun down in the backfield at the 36-yard line. Had nowhere to go. He'll lose a yard. 2nd and 11 now.
Graverson just met in the backfield, trying to run to the left side, but the right side of the Scots defense able to shoot through and meet him in the backfield before he had a chance to even do anything with football.
Terry working on trying to walk it off still on the sideline, so Graverson going to have to stay in there. 2nd and 11 for Grandville, under 9:40 to go, fourth quarter. 50-34 Caledonia from their own 36-yard line. 2 tight end T for the Bulldogs. Carson Smith, the senior quarterback, straddles under center. Snap to Smith. Couple fake handoffs, goes up the gut here on a Kopko. Big hole, 2 hands on the ball, bursting over the 50 to the 40, 35-yard line. Tackled from behind by Max Greenfield, down to the 34-yard line, 33-yard line. That'll move the chains and then some into enemy territory for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they've gotten a couple times with a fullback trap, which is a bit surprising for as talented as the interior of this defense is for the Scots. But Kopko just able to keep 2 hands on the ball, sell the fake through the line of scrimmage, and then use that burst of speed.
Terry still stretching himself out on the sideline. 1st and 10 for Grandville from the 33-yard line. Give to Graverson, faked, handed off to Kopko up the gut. He'll drag it ahead to the 31-yard line for 2 or 3 on first down. Kopko up the gut. He was doing a bit of talking in the inside of that Caledonia defense as well, and Mike Medeiros just rips his own running back away from maybe saying a little bit too much right there in the middle of things, and Grandville will get ready to go back to work. 2nd and 8 from the Caledonia 31-yard line. 50-34, Fighting Scots by 16, where you've ticked under 8.5 to go. Bulldogs have the message relayed in from the sideline, and they'll break it out right here. Remember, no Jaden Terry right now, as he's been on the sideline after that injury a moment ago. Snap to Smith. Give to Graverson. 2 hands on the ball for the sophomore. He'll bull over the 30 down to the 32-yard line. And the tackle's made by Pennington one more time, as it'll be 3rd and medium here now for the Bulldogs. 3rd and 5 as the mark is going to be the 28-yard line. 7:53 and less to go, fourth quarter. 50-34, and the clock just ticking down. Grandville trying to work quickly, but they're not getting the chunk plays right now that they need. Here's Smith under center. Here's a snap. Turn, give Sadinsky right side, dives. He's got the first down, jumping over right guard and diving down to the 22-yard line. That moves the chains, but the clock will be under 7.5 to go by the time they're able to snap this one. Looks like Jaden Terry just about ready to go as he's putting his helmet on the sideline. So it looks like not this play, but next play, the freshman will be ready to check back in for the Bulldogs. 1st and 10 from the Caledonia 22. Fighting Scots lead by 16 with 7:20 to go. Defense crowding in. Smith gives Sadinsky, stuttering up the middle and pushed back after a gain ahead of the 20-yard line. So he got 2 yards on first down. Jaden Terry will check back in here for Reed Graverson. 7:01 and less. Clock ticks under that 7-minute mark in the fourth quarter, 50-34. Grandville moving the ball a little bit, but I think Caledonia is loving the time that's coming off the clock.
Yeah, they're willing to make that trade for right now and then hoping to come away with a stop here as the field starts to shrink. Try to get a little more stingy with the defense and try to shut them down and win the game.
2nd and 8 from the Caledonia 20. Snap to Smith. Give to Jaden Terry. Fake. Bootleg right to pass. Thrown right flat. Caught by a leaping LaCroix at the 16-yard line. Leveled out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and short. So they move it again to LaCroix. His second grab of the game. The last one was for a touchdown. And now they put themselves in a little bit better position on 3rd and very short right here. 6:34 to go, fourth quarter. Caledonia still leads this one by 16. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs, up to the 18-yard line. The 14-yard line. Snap here to Smith. Give Jaden Terry. Got the first down. Busting the speed over the 10. Diving maybe to the 9, but the mark will be the 10-yard line. First down and 1st and goal for Grandville. Right at the 10 right here.
The chunk play for most of the night has been Jaden Terry, and so when he was off the field just trying to keep the drive alive, keep moving down the field, now you get him back in the red zone. See if they continue to give him the ball right away after he's back on the field.
Under 6:15 to go, and Grandville breaks it out one more time. 2 tight end T. Kopko in the middle of Sadinsky and Jaden Terry. Snap to Smith, turn, delayed give, then a handoff on to Terry, busting one tackle, driving inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line. Tackle made by the sophomore Reed Vogel, but the freshman pulls it down to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. Right here for the Bulldogs, are in between the 1 and the 2-yard line. 5:45 in the fourth. 16-point lead for Caledonia. So again, 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions still needed for the Bulldogs. Smith under center. Snap to Carson. Give. Jaden Terry. Bursting over right guard. Nowhere to go. The pile engulfs him right away. It'll be 3rd and goal right back where they started. Maybe inch him ahead to the 1-yard line for this 3rd and goal.
Terry has got to be gassed out there. He's got 25 carries, 230 yards right now. Wow. Just trying to fight for that last inch at the goal line. I know. Very tiring probably out there right now, but just need 1 more yard to keep the game alive.
5:12 to go, fourth quarter, 50-34. 2 tight end T, Grandville, 3rd and goal from the 1. Turn, give, Jaden Terry, right side, pushing the pile down. Touchdown, Grandville. The freshman powers his way in, and the Bulldogs with a chance to get back within a score if they can get the 2-point conversion. 5:01 to go, fourth quarter. It's 50-40.
Bulldogs offense doing just enough to hang around. They continue to answer when they have to. Taking another long drive down the field, eating up some clock, but able to punch it into the end zone.
So they'll go for 2. This is obviously a critical 2-point conversion for Grandville. Smith under center. 2 tight end T. They'll motion Sadinsky to the right slot. Snap, straight right to pass. Pressure coming, throws to the end zone, intercepted. Jimmy Floyd picks it off. It remains a 2-score game and a 10-point lead. 5:01 in the fourth. And that is a big one right there as Floyd comes up with the INT and all but sinks the Bulldogs' chances with 5:01 to go in this one. We will be right back.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Daniel the deer danced everywhere. He pranced through fields and jigged through rivers. Then he saw it. What a stage! A place no deer had dared dance before. The hood of a brand new car.
My car!
And the car was...
Apologies to Scott Bates and his agency. We're going to have to quick break away from that because the Bulldogs, of course, do have what we can expect to be an onside kick coming up right here, down 50-40 with 5:01 in the fourth. Still need 2 scores, but you're going to have to start here with a couple of miracles. So left to right, Isaac Strock will get ready for this little pooch away right here. They do bring the whole unit out along the 35-yard line. Strock runs forward, high pooch kick, that is fielded nicely straight into the arms of the Caledonia up man. That's Derek Pennington right at the 49-yard line. 5:01 to go. The Scots take over, and that just about puts a period on this one, Chandler.
That would have been huge to get that kick right there and keep the offense on the field. Now the defense, you do still have 3 timeouts left. Can try to stop the clock here, but of course that means not letting McKenzie run for a touchdown on the first play here. You got to at least try to keep him so he's not getting a huge gain down the field, and they've had issues doing that in the second half.
That might be the greatest piece of advice you've ever given in the 5 or 6 years, whatever it is of doing this. Just make sure he doesn't score on the first play, please. From their own 49-yard line, McKenzie gets ready to go to work out of that 3-receiver set. Fake handoff, he'll keep it. Chopping up the middle, got away from Adeos. Over the 45, and gets tackled from behind by Kubzak ahead to the 44-yard line. Goodness, he is so dangerous. I mean, my opinions on this Caledonia team, my opinions on Mason McKenzie have changed so much. Not that I thought they were, of course, a bad team. I thought this is, of course, we've seen that 3-tier or that top-tier race for the OK Red, but I think you're looking at a tier that might be head and shoulders above the rest in this conference.
Yeah, they've looked tremendous here tonight. I mean, the defense giving up a lot of points, but the offense has been phenomenal. They only stopped coming right before halftime. Otherwise, they've been moving the ball at will.
All right, 50-40 Caledonia. 2nd and 3 from the Bulldog 44-yard line. They spread them 3 wide. Pennington, the wingback off the right side. Townsend, the tailback. 4-down lineman for the Bulldogs. From the gun, standing with a feet offset, McKenzie. Here's the snap. He'll run it straight right side. Cuts it up to the 40. Got the first down. 35-yard line. 30, 20, right side. Outside numbers 10, 5. Touchdown Caledonia, but a penalty marker is down behind the play, and this one's coming back, I believe.
Yeah, the penalty flag thrown middle of the field again. Probably a hold, but down the field a ways.
We'll have to see and wait for the official call right here. But again, McKenzie in the open field just changing this game one more time. Again, 7 total touchdowns for him in this contest already. 4 on the ground, 3 through the air. But Caledonia is marching backwards. This is going to be a hold on them, and this ball is going to come back. So, sigh of relief right there for the Bulldog defense, as this one was just about officially over. And instead, Caledonia will have to keep this drive going. 4:02 to go, fourth quarter. Caledonia leads by 10, 50-40. And an absolute shootout here from Bulldog Stadium this evening. The Fighting Scots, after the holding penalty, will go to work from their own 46-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 13. They break them out. Same 3-receiver set we've seen all night long. Isolate one man right. Snap to McKenzie. Give to Townsend, up the gut, over the 50, down to the 46-yard line as he's tackled from behind. So like Sedinsky got in there along with Zook to help make the tackle. We've been seeing a lot more of Zook the last couple weeks for the Bulldogs, playing linebacker. So ahead of the 46-yard line on the Grandville side of the field now. 3rd and 5 coming up for the Fighting Scots. 3:40 and less to go, fourth quarter. They lead by 10, and they're bleeding it down right now.
That's another gain after the penalty, almost able to get all of it back right there. Nice burst from Townsend to get through the line and then fall forward. Hasn't had a huge night on the ground, but when your quarterback runs the football effectively as he hasn't been asked to do as much.
All right, McKenzie from the gun. 3-receiver set, wing off the right side. Snap to Mason. Fake give Townsend. He'll keep it on the read option. Up the gut. Now he's bounced backwards. Staying on his feet. Pushing away from the Bulldog defender. Albrecht over the 50. Turns it up over the 45. And he walks his way out of bounds up to around the 41. But a penalty marker is down on the field behind that play. It looks like there was a hold where he turned the corner. That is going to be the call.
Yeah, as McKenzie was trying to reverse that play all the way to the opposite side, can be tough as a lineman trying to find a body, just trying to help your quarterback out, and you can accidentally end up with a block in the back or a hold there.
Remember, for a game recap of tonight's game, go to MichiganSportsRadio.com. We also have standing schedules, live scoring you can check out during the game each and every week. So another holding penalty moves this ball backwards one more time. It'll be 3rd and very, very long, very, very, very long this time, as Caledonia will go to work from their own 37-yard line this time. 3:07 to go, fourth quarter. They lead by 10, Caledonia does, 50-40. It's 3rd and 22. I was waiting for the scoreboard operator to do the math right there for me as they get ready to go to work. Here comes McKenzie. I would consider giving it to him to get 22 yards possibly. There's my advice. He'll break him out. What a night for this kid. 7 touchdowns for McKenzie. We'll get the yardage numbers from Chandler after the game as well. Absolutely unreal performance. He'll drop to pass. Has some time. Fires deep. Over the middle. Intercepted. Drew Hungerford at the 30. A penalty marker is down, though. Over the 35 to the 40. 40-yard line. Spinning it up. And tackled hard at the 45. A really aggressive tackle at the end. The penalty marker, though, down in the secondary around the catch. And it's going to be pass interference on the Bulldogs, and that's going to be negated. Grandville and their fans not happy.
Jump ball down the field, just the receiver. And Hungerford back there, the ball overthrown. Hungerford goes up for it. They're going to call that he pushed off the back of the receiver as he went up to try and get the football. It wasn't a ton of contact, or definitely was a little bit, just a matter of exactly how much. The official definitely saw it, though, and going to call it.
Coach Stiegel not happy. He is on fire talking to the official, and Caledonia will get ready to go to work. So I don't even know where's the math work out. It's going to be about 3rd and medium after all of that. Coach Stiegel just called a timeout. He wants to reset things, or at least I believe he had called a timeout at first. They don't take it off the board officially. He was talking to the official about it. Now he will call. He's been trying to call a timeout for 10 seconds. Now the timeout is called. It is the Bulldogs' first timeout. They'll burn it here. 50-40, 2:53 to go in this fourth quarter. Have you tried the hottest new restaurant in the area? The Derby Tavern in Jamestown is on everyone's list for fine food and beverage, where friends gather and every hour is happy hour. Visit thederbytavern.com for details. All right, Chandler, so Hungerford nearly had a moment for Grandville to at least try to get that final score quite a bit closer, and who knows what could have happened to the onside kick potential. But instead, the push-off is what is called on the pass interference, and because of that, now we are going to see Caledonia have another chance here on 3rd and 6 is where it's going to mark out to. And I think the Grandville crowd, of course, really unhappy. I think they're also thinking back to, I think it was DeHorn had that grab back in the first half where it looked like it was kind of similar going the other way. That was not called. I think that's where maybe some of the anger came from. But now the Bulldogs still, regardless, going to look for a stop. But even if they get the stop, more time yet will bleed off right here.
Yeah, even with the call, still got a chance here. Still 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. Defense still going to have one more chance to try to get a stop.
All right, McKenzie from the shotgun. 3rd and 6 from Bulldog 47. His team leads by 10. He'll run it right side at the 45-yard line. He's got the first down, tumbling out of bounds to the 39. Shoestring tackle made by Cash Ruff. Is he hurt? He is. McKenzie is down and injured, holding his right ankle out of bounds along the sideline. He got tripped up on his way down, and he's in some serious pain over there. So now with this injury timeout, we're actually also going to have to wait. I think he's short. I called him that he was in. Now the mark actually is going to be a yard short. So now it's 4th down, and McKenzie's hurt. Wow.
Right along the sideline, trying to tiptoe and extend the ball to get the first down. Took an awkward hit down low, went down. After all that, it does look like the spot's going to be about a yard short of the first down.
It looked like he originally they were going to potentially give him that 39-yard line, but it is going to be short. It's going to be the 43, and that will make it 4th and 1, and does make an interesting decision point right here for Caledonia. 2:47 to go in the 4th. 50-40, Fighting Scots leading Grandville. But of course, McKenzie's status also going to be front of mind for this team coming out of this. Because, what a change for their season. Coming off the performance that he had. They'll break it out right here. Appears to be that Jet King is going to operate as the quarterback. So the senior Jet King, big kid, 6'2", 215 pounds, is going to operate this team at quarterback with McKenzie down and injured on his sideline. So McKenzie hurt, King now in. 2:47 in the 4th, 4th and 1, Caledonia will go for it. Snap to King, give, up the gut, Townsend stopped in the backfield. The Bulldogs come up with a stop. Busting through, Jackson Zook wraps up his ankles, and it's Grandville football down 10 with 2:43 in the 4th. So maybe just a slimmer starting to open up, a glimmer of light starting to open at the end of that tunnel for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was a wild adventure to get there, but the defense finally came away with a stop. Penalties going back and forth. A couple of big plays taken back, the interception, almost the first down for McKenzie, but ultimately the defense coming away on 4th and short, getting a big tackle in the backfield.
All right, so now Grandville, 2:43. They trail by 10 in the 4th. They'll start from their own 42-yard line. 2 tight end T here for the Bulldogs. Carson Smith under center, gives Sadinsky. Left side faked. He'll pass it. Throwing deep. Right sideline. Looking for LaCroix. Overthrown at the 20-yard line. Just missed his outstretched arms. 2:36 to go, 4th quarter. That time Grandville maybe wanted the pass interference, looking to their sideline. But it will now be 2nd and 10 from the 42, and the Bulldogs are going to continue to think about taking shots here with 2:36 in the 4th. So remember also, Grandville, 2 timeouts. So if they're able to score quickly, even if Caledonia gets the ball with a couple of successive stops, they might give themselves a very rough chance at the end of this game. Also 10-point game, remember, you're thinking about field goal potentially if you get down to 4th down deep in enemy territory. They will go for it on what's the 2nd and 10 right here from their own 42-yard line. Smith under center. He'll motion Sadinsky out wide to the right wing. Handoff up the gut on the Capco, and the trap play goes nowhere. He's shut down a yard behind the line of scrimmage, back to the 41-yard line. So 2.5 to go, 4th quarter, and Grandville's got a 3rd and 11 coming up right here. 3rd and 11 coming up right here from their own 41. 2:18 and less, 4th quarter, 50-40 Caledonia, and the Bulldogs work quickly here. They go to the single wing formation. From the gun, single wing formation, snap to Smith, drop to pass, thrown, overthrown at the 50-yard line as Greenfield ran into Sadinsky, but a penalty marker is also down behind the play right here. I believe, again, that single wing may have led to a false start. There were penalty markers down on either side right here.
Yeah, I think false start, you're exactly right. They've had that lined up a couple times when they've gone to it. Tough to see exactly where the false start was coming from, but something in that lineup before they're trying to get a head start on that play and get moving. The officials have caught a couple times now.
That was the call, but Caledonia will decline the penalty. So Grandville, 4th and 11 from their own 41. 2:05 to go. They trail by 10, and this is their last chance. They go 2 tight end T. Here's Smith. Here's the snap. He'll drop straight to pass. Has some time. Fires deep over the middle. Overthrown. Incomplete at the 40. He was looking for Sadinsky, and that will do it. So Caledonia up 10, 2 minutes to go. Have a chance to wrestle this one away right now and ice this thing down and go to 5-0 in the year, and they have made themselves quite a statement. Quite a statement by Grandville the way they fought back despite it, but the way Caledonia played in this game, consistently in control. Mason McKenzie, unbelievable. I will say, though, still no Mason McKenzie. That might wind up being the main takeaway from this game for Caledonia, as again, Jet King going to run the offense right here. So they go to work from the Grandville 41-yard line, up 10 with 2 minutes to go. King from the shotgun. Snap to King. He'll run it straight left side on the power keeper over the 35, and he pulls the pile down to the 33-yard line. Nesbitt was in on that tackle. Good gainer there for King. King a different runner than McKenzie. We talk about the speed of McKenzie. King, again, 215, 220 pounds, 6'2". He's going to bully you over. Those little quarterback power keepers running over the guard. That's going to be his game.
Yeah, looking to lower the shoulder there at the end of the run. We've seen McKenzie be able to go around a couple guys and outrun them. King just lowering the shoulder, and in the situation for that where you're looking to just pick up a couple extra yards, maintain possession of the ball.
All right, we're under 1:30 to go now. Under 1:20 to go. 50-40 Caledonia from the Bulldog 33. They have a 2nd and 2. Snap to King. Give Townsend. Angles over the right side. He'll dive ahead to the 31-yard line. And it looks like they're going to mark him the 32, though. He'll be about a yard short. It'll be 3rd down here for Caledonia. Not much going for Townsend. Amazing the way that their offense just kind of slows down and just doesn't feel the same without that dangerous aspect of McKenzie on the football field for them. And now we have a timeout call. Kind of late there, the timeout for the Bulldogs, as they let some time run down before they actually called it. I think they're maybe debating if they even were going to continue keeping the game up or not, but they will call that timeout. 54 seconds on the clock. 50-40, Caledonia leads Grandville. One last thank you, of course, to the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency and Centennial Securities, our title and presenting sponsors here with Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. So, Mason McKenzie, 7 touchdowns in the game on the sideline. Caledonia ready to go to 5-0 on the year, but make sure you stay tuned to our Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. Hand out Lakeshore Sewing, Threading the Needle play of the game. I'm not sure which one that's going to be yet among all of the big plays for both teams that we've seen in this game. Also, make sure you stay tuned for the Centennial Securities player of the game, who I have a pretty good idea who it's going to be. Caledonia from the Grandville 32-yard line have a 3rd and 1 coming up right here, 54 seconds on the clock. And again, the other thing Grandville is kind of going to be looking at a little bit of those 2-point conversions throughout this game as well that changed the course of the game in terms of it could have still been a 1-score game possibly right now based on if they were able to get more conversions down the stretch. So King will go back to work here from the gun. Townsend the tailback to his right hip on a 3rd and 1. Bulldogs crowding in the defense. 54 seconds on the clock. Snap to King. He'll run it on the power keeper right side. Has the first down over the 30. Gets tripped up down to the 27-yard line. That moves the chains, and that will do it. 49 seconds will get ready to come off the clock here as the two teams will let things run on down in just a moment. Caledonia by 10. A 2-score game technically, maybe not fully when you look at some of the way that the scoring happened in this game. Truly a shootout, truly a classic. Positives that we'll talk about for both teams, but especially Caledonia to take away from this one. Also, maybe a big negative even for Caledonia to take away based on what Mason McKenzie's status is. King breaks him out from the Grandville 27-yard line. Under 25 seconds to go. They're going to run another play from the shotgun. Give to Townsend, right side, cuts it up over the 20 and dives down to the 19-yard line as he's tackled from behind by Graverson. So now the clock will come down. Final 14 seconds off. It's a 10-point win for Caledonia. 50-40. The Fighting Scots stay unbeaten on the year. They go to 5-0 on the year. The Bulldogs suffer their first defeat of the 2022 campaign. The Dogs now 4-1. Also, by the way, Caledonia stays unbeaten and tied atop the OK Red with Rockford, who is also winning tonight. So let's welcome you inside the Farmers Insurance, Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show. Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. I mean, CT, quite the thriller. So impressive, Caledonia in this game. First off, we'll talk about Grandville too on the other side of things, but first off, Caledonia, you have to be impressed by them, and in particular, Mason McKenzie, what he did tonight with 7 total touchdowns.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, there was a lot of hype around this team coming into the season, and it's been growing throughout the beginning parts, and you see why. I mean, all around, a really solid team on the offense, but especially McKenzie and his ability to just take over the game. It was pretty much just him running the football in the second half up until he got injured, and they were able to just ride what he was able to do down the field.
And that's no, we'll talk about again. Grandville scores 40 points tonight, and again, they lose by 2 scores, but you have to consider some of the missed 2-point conversions versus field goals down the stretch. You think about maybe kicking field goals all second half. Suddenly, all of a sudden, it still was a 1-score game at the end. Think about the missed opportunity. Hungerford, was that a pass interference or not? Like, they still had all these chances, despite how perfectly Caledonia played, how much they moved the ball on them, how Grandville only came up with 1 stop, and it was at the end of the half. The Bulldogs still stay within 10 points the whole way. Same losing margin of last year, just a little bit different game, but still impressive if you're going to take a positive away for Graham, the way that they found a way to stay in this game despite the perfect game Caledonia played tonight.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you're looking at is the Bulldogs feel like they got stopped a couple times on offense, which is something that doesn't happen a whole lot for them without Tyson Mann out there, as well as giving up a ton of points and a ton of yardage to this Caledonia offense, and you were still able to hang in there long enough, make it a game. Yeah, they were chasing them most of the way, playing from behind, but the ability that to at least keep it close and make Caledonia execute down the stretch, you have to feel positive about that. Even though you took the loss, I think if you're looking down the road, you feel good that you keep it a close game for the future matchup potentially.
All right, don't go anywhere. Scott Bates, Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show, 50-40. Grandville falls tonight to Caledonia. The Fighting Scots stay unbeaten on this year. We've got a lot to get to. We'll go through your scoring recap again. It's a long one for the second half. We'll go through some stats again. A lot of big numbers that Chandler's going to have to handle for you in that one. And then we will hand out our player and play of the game from this one. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Game Night.
Are you looking for a new career? Aetna Supply is hiring. Aetna Supply is Michigan's #1 plumber wholesaler, servicing local customers for over 50 years. They offer great benefits, a 401k with company match, quarterly bonuses, and no Sundays. Once again, check them out at aetnasupply.com/careers or click on their logo on the Michigan Sports Radio homepage.
Bowling is a great time that combines great friends, football, and bowling. Compete against your friends or family, throwing a football at 10 real bowling pins. You can bring in your own food, or they have a pair of 45-foot bars featuring soft drinks and adult beverages. Visit bowlingwarehouse.com, Grand Rapids, to reserve your lanes.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make your community a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timber. This is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show, 50-40. Caledonia stays unbeaten in the battle of unbeatens here this evening. We got a lot to get to at start their scoring recap. We went into the half with just a one-score, 8-point game with Caledonia leading the Bulldogs. But it was very quickly in that 28-22 game, Caledonia opening things up. Mason McKenzie, a 70-yard run that made it 36-22. They also got the two-point conversion there to help also change the math on the game a little bit. Carson Capco answered the 41-yard touchdown. Their Bulldogs are no good on the two-point conversion. This is with 5:34 remaining in the third. That made it 36-28. McKenzie then again answers with a 2-yard touchdown run. Vogler added the extra point, made it 43-28. At the end of the third quarter, we had 3 total scores in the fourth frame of play. Smith found LaCroix on a 37-yard strike for the Bulldogs. The Grandville side was then also no good on the two-point conversion, 43-34. So remained a 2-score game despite the score right there. That kind of was the turning point down the stretch in the ball game. McKenzie then answered the 48-yard run for his 7th touchdown of the game. He was involved in all their scoring, 50-34 at that point in time. And then Jaden Terry, with 5 minutes to go, had a 1-yard run. Smith was intercepted in the end zone, and that made it 50-40, and that was your final score. Chandler, take us through some stats. We'll then get to your play and player of the game.
Yeah, I think I could spend the rest of the night probably reading numbers here, so I'll kind of pick some of the big ones here for you. But start with the Bulldogs. Carson Smith, 57 pass yards to go with 12 rushing yards. On the ground, it was Jaden Terry leading the way. 27 carries for 231 yards. Carson Kopko had 150 yards. Sadinsky with 86. Through the air, Sadinsky had 2 catches for 20 yards, and LaCroix had that touchdown for 37. Going over to Caledonia and the Fighting Scots, McKenzie 189 passing yards to go with 276 rushing yards. On the ground as well, Townsend 42 rushing yards. And then through the air, Townsend 36, Graham 51, Reed 38, and DeHorn 58.
Not kidding, huh?
No, I'll double-check that math, but I already did once.
I mean, we all saw it, heard it. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Let's get to some awards to start. The Lakeshore Sewing threading the needle play of the game. Remember, Lakeshore Sewing features West Michigan's largest selection of all things related to sewing, from new machines and machine repair to supplies and even classes to take your sewing game to the next level. So visit lakeshoresewing.com for more details. That's lakeshoresewing.com. And make sure you mention to Brian Collins that you heard about Lakeshore Sewing while listening to Michigan Sports Radio. So you have a lot of scoring plays, a lot of big scoring plays for both sides to talk about right here, Chandler. I think for the play of the game, though, you go to the first score of the second half. You go to the 70-yard read-option keeper for McKenzie because that kind of changed the momentum and the flow of the second half of play. Grandville had all the momentum in the world going into that halftime break. They just needed to stop, and they had a chance to knock that game up then coming down. Remember, they were also just down 6, so it was a very different math on the game also as well what was happening. And that completely changed things because all of a sudden now it was one play. Grandville didn't get the stop. Caledonia's back up 2 scores. They got the 2-point conversion to go with it as well. But McKenzie and his 7 touchdowns, and you could have gone to the pass plays or what may have been more impressive, but that 70-yard keeper where he raced away from the Bulldogs side, that was the one that really turned the football game in my estimation.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was the one that kind of broke the will of the defense just a little bit because you're out there was one of the multiple times where, you're a stop away from being all the way back. They were chasing that score most of the way through the game, and there was a couple times where you get that stop, and then you don't know what happens from there. You get your offense, and you get some momentum after getting a stop on defense, but just how quickly McKenzie able to get the ball and pretty much untouched from 70 yards out.
Centennial Security's player of the game. Well, Chandler, he had 7 touchdowns. He had 276 rushing yards. He had 187 passing yards. Mason McKenzie with one of the best individual performances I can remember for an individual player in a high school football game in quite a long time. Of course, we'll have to see what his health status is at the end of that game, a potential big moment for Caledonia. But this game, at least, is a memory of what he did that's going to stand out. And for a guy that I described as kind of a dark horse, is starting to enter some different Mr. Football conversations. I know state champs put him on their top 10 watch list. I mean, a statement for sure to try to move himself from dark horse to maybe he should be one of those main guys in considerations. I know there's some big names in this state that are going to be finding their way on to the next level, but this kid, absolutely unbelievable performance, put the team on his back. He won this game today for Caledonia.
Yeah, he really did. An all-time performance. I mean, did literally everything you could ask for in a 4-quarter game to put up that kind of numbers. You hope for his sake he gets back out on the field, and that injury isn't a long-term thing because you can see how much he means to this Fighting Scots offense and this team as a whole. But it really came down to who was going to win the game. If the Bulldogs had won, I think you had an easy choice, and Jaden Terry had a tremendous game as well. But McKenzie in the winning effort put up all the numbers you could ask for.
Talk about the freshman, Terry, for the Bulldogs tonight as well, because, we talked about on our show, the tailgate report this week, about how important he was going to be to Grandville to be that guy to get the yardage when they needed it. Well, holy cow, he was the guy to get the yardage when they needed it today in a really impressive fashion.
Yeah, I mean, he was most of the big chunk plays that they had for a while there. First couple drives stalled out, and then the interception. Things were looking kind of bleak for the offense, and then they just started to feed Jaden Terry more and more, and he was making it happen. Tough runs, too, not just wide open lanes for him to run. He was making things happen. You could tell the offense kind of bought in once he started having some of those plays. They continued to feed him. You could tell he was working out there towards the end. He had some cramps. It looked like he was working through. Ended up toting 27 carries. Wow. I mean, that's an all-time thing for his varsity career so far. That's going to be a record. But in the performance when they needed him the most, he stepped up.
Absolutely. All right, we'll step aside one more time here in the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency post-game show. 50-40, Caledonia wins this one, stays unbeaten. When we come back, we'll wrap this up. We'll look ahead. Schedule does not relent for the Bulldogs whatsoever. We'll talk about how to tune into that game next week, as we will not have the Grandville-Rockford coverage. We'll talk about all that is coming up in that regard, but Michigan Sports Radio will, of course, have that covered. So make sure you stay tuned. We'll wrap things up in just a moment. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Caledonia stays unbeaten on this season.
Hello, West Michigan sports fans. I am Mark Kimball. I'm president of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame. This is our 50th year, and in our 50th year, we like to sit around and chat about all the great things that have happened in the world of sports in our community. I need your help in helping me remember which of those athletes, teams, and events were the most important or the most fun for you to participate in. We're running a series of surveys that are asking for your input in identifying your favorite sporting event over the last 50 years. Some of my favorite events were the very first Whitecaps game or the very first Hoops game. What were your favorite events? And then I like to think about who are the best athletes that we've seen in the last 50 years, both from a female and a male perspective. And finally, tell me who your favorite team is and what they accomplished over the last 50 years.
The sinister cries haunted Mary through the night. Dawn neared, and still the voice tormented her. She ran towards the safety of her car, flung open the door, and a coyote had somehow gotten locked inside. But the damaged interior was covered thanks to Farmers Insurance. Coyote Carpool, August 1st, 2015. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Contact the Scott Bates Agency today, 616-531-3441. A proud supporter of MichiganGameNight.com.
Can you name the 10 winners of the Nobel Peace Prize or the last 5 Miss Americas? The point is the applause dies and the achievements are forgotten. But can you name 3 friends who helped you through tough times or teachers who encouraged you in school? We remember those who make a difference in our lives. I'm Randy Hansen, president of Centennial Securities. What matters to us are the personal relationships we have with our clients, helping them build a secure financial future. As a Centennial Securities customer, you know what I mean. If you're not, isn't it about time?
Member SIPC and FINRA.
Welcome back, Nate Dreyer, Chandler Timmer. This is the Scott Bates Farmers Insurance Agency postgame show, and CT wrapping it up again, 50-40. Unbelievable performance by Caledonia. Unbelievable performance for Mason McKenzie. He scores 7 touchdowns. The Bulldogs score 6. Again, the math in this game got messed up by some of the 2-point conversions and things as well. It's technically a 2-score game, but it's also just a 1-touchdown difference game in this one in the end. So it was truly every bit of the epic back-and-forth battle we thought. So next week, MichiganSportsRadio.com, Brock Conkle and company will have the call of Grandville Rockford, and I believe it will be a video broadcast as well that they do. So I'll link it to the MGN page, but we will not be there, as I mentioned this week on the Tailgate Report. I have another racing event that I am covering that weekend, kind of preset thing, and it also works out because Brock and Rockford would have the coverage anyway because the game at Rockford, Brock, of course, does all the Rockford games for Michigan Sports Radio, has been doing so for like 20 years at this point in time. So Brock and company will have that game. That'll be unbelievable again. I mean, the schedule's so tough, Chandler. And stay tuned as well. I do not believe we're going to have a tailgate report this week, just with the way that some of the schedules are working out. So don't expect you won't have a tailgate report this week. Stay tuned to our social media if something changes in terms of a little bit of coverage. But no tailgate report. Broadcast on Michigan Sports Radio. We will then be back the following week and on the Bulldogs through the next couple weeks, weeks 7 and 8. Week 9, East Kentwood's Michigan Sports Radio team will have the coverage. So that's a look ahead at how things are looking right now. So a couple more Grandville games, and of course, Grandville playoffs will take back over as well. But I guess I'll let you wrap it up, Chandler, because the Grandville schedule, we knew how difficult it was, this 4-week stretch, and we talked in particular about Hudsonville, Caledonia, Rockford. And I know the math has changed a little bit on West Ottawa versus Hudsonville as well. I think Hudsonville may be going to start to take that advantage back. Tonight it looked like they were on their way to a win possibly. But going 2-1 in those 3 games kind of was the math we're talking about. Like, this is what you need as a team. Grandville still has a chance, even though things have changed a little bit, to do that right now if they can find a way to beat Rockford. But the matchup's going to be tough. The way Rockford throws the ball around, the way that they're going to spread the field in a similar way to what Caledonia did in the first half, maybe without the Caledonia run game, and honestly with a little bit weaker run defense this year for Rockford, which is crazy to say about Rockford, of course. But, yeah, I mean, I guess I got long-winded with it, but it's so important now. Grandville still has a chance to turn what was just a 1-touchdown, 10-point loss. That does make sense if you just tuned in. It just trust me, it was a 1-touchdown, 10-point game. To turn that loss tonight into a potentially a win next week, and they can really have some good momentum still moving forward. And who knows, I personally think, as I'm going to continue to ramble, I personally think that these 3 teams at the top of this conference, I still think they're going to all beat each other, and I am not overly surprised by what happened tonight, and I still think there's a chance Grandville beats Rockford. I still think there's a chance Rockford beats Caledonia, vice versa, although it looks really tough to beat Caledonia. But next week for Grandville, I mean, it's the whole season still. I mean, in terms of looking at those playoff seedings, it comes down next week, really.
Yeah, it does. I mean, as you said, there's still a lot of season left. I think this was the first kind of glimpse we got at what the top 3 teams in the OK Red were going to shake out like. And for one, if we had a tailgate report, I'll tell you right now, I'd put Caledonia 1.
Yes, we'll do it right now. Yeah. They're 1, Rockford's 2, Grandville's 3.
Yes,
there's the top.
That's my rankings for the week for those interested. But no, I mean, Caledonia was impressive. I think they were really good, but not a ton of time for the Bulldogs to mope about it. I mean, you turn around and you've got your biggest rival right next week, a team that you're looking to get some revenge on, and a team that you can still win that game. And yeah, you take the chance that Rockford can knock off Caledonia, and you've got a 3-way tie at the top. And before you know it, you're, this loss doesn't hurt as bad. It's obviously still disappointing that unable to come away with a win here, but still a lot of the season left, and a huge game next week to try to turn it around.
A game we expected to give us answers leaves us with a lot of questions still, as Grandville still scores 40. Who knows what they can do against Rockford? What is the health of Mason McKenzie? So a game that we thought we would maybe start to answer all of our season's questions in the OK Red, as the OK Red always seems to do, leaves us with a few more questions. 50-40, Caledonia stays unbeaten on the year. Grandville falls to 4-1. For Chandler Timmer and everyone at Michigan Game Night, Michigan Sports Radio, I am Nate Jyer. We'll see y'all, not next week, but the week following. We'll be back here, and of course, check out MichiganSportsRadio.com and Broad Conkle for the Rockford call of the Grandville-Rockford game next weekend right here on Michigan Sports Radio and Game Night on Michigan Sports Radio. Signing off. See y'all next time.